it's over. Do you need anything like I need you? You're all I've got. You're all I've got. You're all I want. Back in the day, complications never wore my patience. I was always ready to play, play, play. Why face the day in the sunshine in LA? We hit the beach and rode the waves. I lost my balance, I was faded, faded. I was trapped and wrapped up in a scene that was never really me. Plastic lights and starry eyes, and all the freaks were left outside. So I'd look in and wonder why. Where was mine? I couldn't find it, find it. But you're all I've got. You're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never be enough. Most days it just feels like a struggle to catch up. And I won't mind the day I find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. Time to walk away, trade my sunshine in for rain. Same old ways in a different place, but something's changing, changing. I wanted answers and direction. What I got was second guessing, hesitation, no sensation, just more questions. Nothing to blame for being stuck inside this frame of mind. If I can find my way, who I am, what I want, where I'm going, where I was, it's not up to you. I wish there was something you could do, but you're not me, so you can be my answers, answers, because you're all I've got. And you're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never be enough. Most days it just feels like a struggle to catch up. Yo! But I won't mind the day I find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. You're all I've got. You're all I want. You're all I've got.
Let's go!
You're all I
Lee! Let's go! Yeah, baby. Let's go.
And silent, I just found another shoulder to look over. Am I bolder? I feel colder. Every time I sense danger, I just find another angle to this game. Don't wanna play, please start me over. How we doing? Yo! I can walk away again and again and feel nothing. Oh yeah, I feel invaded.
Oh, shit, boss. Let's go. Dude, how we doing on this fine... Dude, what night is it? It's Friday. It's Friday. Mariners lost. Dude, I'll be honest. Dude, I am so conflicted. Hold on.
Paint away, day and night. 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here we go.
Oh, dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗏. Let's go, baby. Thank you, 𝗙𝗪𝗏. Oh, fuck you, Elon. Dude, let's go. So we're riding it out. I am still conflicted about the time. You love the music. Let's go. Dude, you haven't even heard the good shit yet, Pixie Dust. If you like my music, there are links to the Spotify and Apple Music stuff down in the description. I highly recommend you check it out. 2 of my best albums are on those streaming services. But guys, dude, this one's for Kermit Regal. Let's go. Oh, so I am a tiny bit conflicted, guys, about the time, because you know that I'm like all about like going regular, right? I'm all about just sticking to a regular schedule, but I think I might do 10 instead of 9. We're gonna hold out with 9 for a little while, but I think 10 works better with my lifestyle actually. But we'll see. All right, we're gonna play around with the time this summer. I know we're on day 3, and I'm like, well, because you know what it is like Jenny has stuff to do in the early evening, and so sometimes our time together is like later than anticipated. Like we can't have our time together before like 8 p.m. and then it gets all rushed if I'm starting at 9, and the Mariners home games end around 9:30. And I don't know that I want to like miss all the Mariners home games, the end of the home games to stream, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that like there's like an opportunity cost thing here where my numbers are actually better when I start at 10 or 10:30. I don't know. My numbers are better late night, So I just don't know if I want to give up my time with Jenny and my time with the Mariners for that extra hour. I'm fighting it. I know I just might be a 10 o'clock guy. You know what I'm saying? I might be a 10 o'clock guy. That's all I'm saying. So we'll see. We'll see. You like the shirt? I know. Isn't it good? losing my shit. We'll see. I've ruled nothing out. Dude, Kermit, dude, get Kermit on the horn. Yo, God. Yeah, what's up? Dude, this world sucks. What are you doing? The fuck is your problem? What's up with the time, boss? Right? Like 9 o'clock's too early, 10 o'clock's too late. I don't like what you're doing with this place. All right? I think you need to send in an asteroid and start over. Okay? All right, move your ass. Come on. And quit having your supporters be such assholes. All right? All right, bye-bye. There we go. Dude, a direct line to God. There we go. God, it said he's sorry. He's sorry. He apologizes for his supporters. He says he too knows that they're all pricks, but the good news is they're all going to hell. So all we have to do is wait it out. And in the afterlife, we're going to get to watch them all burn. So there actually is something waiting for us at the finish line. Dude, let's go. Dude, 10 is the new 9. Yes. Dude, 10 is the new 9. All right, let's go. You ready? Dude, Pine Box Party. All right. So let me see what we got here. Hold on. I'm going to switch to the big cam for a minute because I don't know what screen I got up here. Okay, there's the Kyle and there's that. And hold on. All right, you ready? So we there we go. Dude, we have quite a bit of a show, okay? Right? Oh shit. Dude, let's go. All right, Ryan Grimm. Dude, Ryan Grimm gets on my nerves. All right? If you got a link to the debate, Ryan Grimm gets on my nerves. I don't really like that guy. I'm going to admit. But so we're going to look at a bunch of shit today. All right? We're going to try to squeeze it all into. I'm going to try to stay on task. Okay? So here's what we're doing. All right? We are going to, I think that Kyle Kulinski video is worth taking a look at. The one about the circumcisions in Belgium. That shit is weird. And once again, it is like, you know, proof positive that the Abrahamic religions are all trash. Okay. So we're going to look at that. The Trump circumcision, Trump circumcision incorporated. Because I think that's fun. Dude, we have to look at the economic woes. We have to look at the data centers. Okay. The data centers, guys. I think there's something very interesting to be seen. Okay. The data centers is very interesting to, we got to look at the data centers situation. Okay. We do, guys. Dude, Elf, let's go. If Tommy doesn't play Goat Simulator, I'm going to unfollow. Let's go. Dude, I have Goat Simulator. I have it. I possess it. It's in my library. I have not played it, but it is in my library, though. All right. So, well, guys, here's the thing. Let's start on the data centers, okay? Because look at this shit, okay? Look at this. Guys, if you got to look at these numbers. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this map right here, okay? Do you see this? Do you see this right here, okay? 5,381 data centers. That is, we have like half of them here. But here's the problem, guys, right? The problem is who's supplying all this electricity? Who's paying for this shit, right? China has 449 data centers, okay? I don't see how being the kings of AI, okay, is like having all of your resources get sucked up. It's right. It's like AI, dude. is going to swallow up all of our resources while the whole world just uses it. The whole world is using AI, but we're the ones sacrificing the water, the electricity, the climate. Dude, China only has 449 data centers. We have 5,000. 5,000, right? That is insane. That is insane. See, here's the thing, guys. I think what we should be doing, if we're going to have a whole bunch of data centers, we should be putting them in other countries. Don't you think? Don't you think that's the play? If you're going to have data centers, we want to be building them somewhere else. Dude, this just seems bad, okay? This seems bad for us, right? It does. What's the point of data centers? I mean, there is no point of data centers. The point of data centers is to, whatever, have, the operational network that's running the AI, okay? But the problem is that there's like, AI is like the new tool, okay? And so now that there's this new tool, America's rushing to like, we got to win. Oh, we got to win the race, right? But I just don't think the way we're winning the race is going to benefit the country. I think winning this race, the way we are running it, is going to harm our country. That's factual. That's the problem. They're huge resource drains. So you either we need to figure out a way to make data centers like self-serving. They have to be able to, take care of themselves, or we have to, consider not building 5,000s of them. And yeah, this O'Leary guy is such a fucking snot. All right, we're going to look at a couple O'Leary videos. All right, let's look at that. First off, let's look at this one. All right, because this one is interesting. All right, now guys, these women here are like fighting a data center in Utah. Okay, and O'Leary here is convinced that it's China fighting this data center. But guys, I do have to say one thing just to start off. You see this guy? He's wearing a suit with flip-flops. Like, bro, I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, find the update. I don't care what anyone says, guys. Wearing a suit and flip-flops, like, you need to be launched into the sun, okay? That is just... That's not okay. That is as bad as like Epstein shit. Okay? I'm serious. If you're wearing a suit and flip-flops, you are Jeffrey Epstein. They're literally, there's no like gray area. Those two things, Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking network and wearing flip-flops with a suit, those are the same thing. Okay? And no questions asked. There is no, I will not budge. I will die on that hill, guys. All right, you ready? We're going to watch these two videos. We're going to check it out. Okay, here we go.
Finlayson, Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you?
Well, hi, hello. It's me, Gabby Finlayson. What am I doing? Apparently, we've reached the part of the Stratos data center journey where Kevin O'Leary goes on national Fox News to accuse us of being cells for the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, who would want us to stop building our electrical grid? Which adversary would want that? There's only one. It's China. So what I think is happening, and I got my guys to go a deep dig into the IP addresses, and here's what we found out. This is fascinating. We found 2 cells inside side of Utah. Elevate strategies. 𝗙𝗍𝗶𝗍𝗀𝗍. Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you? So what I'm doing right now is, after getting this data, I'm calling out Gabby, operating in Utah.
So, hi Kevin, we are Elevate Strategies. This is Utah. You might not know it because you're from Canada. This is where we live.
Before we get into anything too serious, this is the very scary, very intimidating man that is threatening us.
We are not taking the criticism of anyone who is wearing flip-flops and a suit on national television.
You know, it's not every day you get called out by first and last name on Fox News by a Canadian billionaire trying to ruin my state, but here we are.
Kevin, are you okay?
But after sitting with this for a moment, we decided to take it as a compliment because, first of all, how are these men scared of us?
Have you met us?
Hi. What are we talking about?
I want a forensic audit of who's funding their platforms. Who is it? So these are proxies for the Chinese government's my argument. And if they're not, because I want them to be able to defend their name to Gabby, come out wherever you are.
Okay, Kevin, go ahead.
Mr. Wonderful's Nancy Drew little detective agency, have at it, brother, because if we were Chinese operatives, we would be the worst operatives in the entire world. Someone alert Beijing that the payment portal to 𝗙cie and I's Amex bills is somehow broken.
As a reminder, we run Democratic campaigns in the state of Utah. If we were in this to be making money, we would be doing literally anything else. And you should know that because your job is to give small business owners advice.
Yeah, you'd think that Kevin would understand the hellscape that is late-stage capitalism and consumerism that has led to you becoming a terrible, horrible billionaire who's trying to ruin our state.
But if we're talking about audits, we should be auditing the Stratos project. We should be auditing all of the politicians that, I don't know, do you have property surrounding the Stratos project? Or maybe do you have interests that you were changing the laws before this was created?
Yeah, and they should be like auditing everybody's stock portfolios, because what we're seeing, you know, like, for example, Donald Trump, right? What did we find out today about Donald Trump? Oh, yeah, we found out that, where is it? Where are you, Donald Trump? You fucking cretin. Here we go. 220 million in Q1 financial transactions, including Paramount, Warner Brothers, Netflix, Disney, and Comcast. Guess what? All companies that were tangentially involved in mergers or plays, right? So homie's like selling Netflix while he blocks the merger, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, or buying Netflix after he blocks the merger and the price tanks. I mean, dude, you know, this shit is fucking problematic, right? You know, selling off Paramount after it goes boom. It is like a nonstop corruption. And think about what they're doing with the AI and tech stocks. Just think about it, right? Think about how much, you know, play is going on with both the, you know, crypto coins, the poly market shit, the oil futures, and the crypto stocks, knowing what they're doing around chips and whatnot, and, you know, their legislation around AI. Dude, it is fucking rotten, dude.
Pathetically. We're just saying we should maybe look into people that stand to make hundreds of millions of dollars off this project, and let's be so for real and so clear, that is not us. It is not us. But sure, let's do the thing that all men who are scared and have no actual facts do, which is accuse women who have a fully formed thought of being the problem and being Chinese operatives, just like me. Like, what are we talking about? How are we making this video right now? Like, it's so unserious.
And they should thank me for this promotion I'm giving them right now. And let's shine the light of transparency on what you're doing, because they're also going after the leadership in Utah itself. These two cells.
Well, Kevin, you say that like it's a scandal, and it's not, because we are damn proud of the fact that we will continue to be shining a light on the corruption and insanity that is going on in this state, not just with this project, but with many others.
All right, we're going to pause there. We're going to catch up. Dude, let's go, dude. Made money. Oh, bye-bye, Trumpy. What is hope without action? I need action. Yes, dude, we're trying to take action. Dude, Elf says, don't tax my inheritance. Dude, let's go. Yo, don't tax Elf's inheritance. All right? All right. Keep it coming. All right, bye-bye. There you go. Kermit's got you. Dude, we'll tax it when you're dead. All right, let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, Kermit's fucking taking care of it. Dude, I still, guys, we're going to see many more clips tonight of Kevin O'Leary with these flip-flops. Again, I have to reiterate, if you're wearing flip-flops and if you're wearing flip-flops and you're wearing a suit, you need to go to prison for life, boss. That is like life imprisonment. No questions asked. No parole. Okay? That is Epstein shit. That is basically going to Epstein Island. All right? There is no way about it. Dude, straight to jail, boss. Straight to jail.
We will continue to be here doing that work long after you've forgotten about Utah, because you don't actually care about what happens to the state.
Let's show the people of Utah you actually care about them.
We don't need Kevin to teach us to care about Utah, because we've been here, we were born here, we work here, we have sacrificed a lot of time, unpaid jobs, just to try and make this state better. We're the ones that actually love this state, and that is why we care about its future, and we care about this data center and what it could do to the future of our state.
And I think it's important that we get to this. So out of frame, just behind Kevin O'Leary while he's doing this Fox News hit, is a life-size cardboard cutout of himself.
And by life-size, we mean extremely short.
Maybe that's how tall he really is, we don't know. As the old saying goes, behind every terrible man is a cardboard cutout of that same man. This is a real man, and he chose to wear this hat that says Utah National Security.
When did they have these made?
Was it a gift from Stuart Adams and Spencer Cox and Mike Schultz? I don't know, but please, Kevin, let us know where this dumbass hat came from. So we decided that we need to make a hat of our own, because we also have security concerns for the state of Utah, just slightly different. We are worried about the Great Salt Lake. We are worried about our carbon emissions. We are worried about our electrical grid. We are worried about the temperatures rising in our state. We care about the economic, environmental future of our state. So,
guys, it is pretty weird to have a cardboard cutout of yourself in the room, right? That's pretty fucking strange, isn't it? Like, who does that? Seriously, think about the psychology of that. Of having a cardboard cutout having a cardboard cutout of anyone in an unironic way to me is questionable. But like a cardboard cutout of yourself? I mean, dude, that's weird. You think he, like, to himself? Do you think he does? I mean, I bet he does, dude. I bet he does. I bet he, like, vibrates to his own frequency.
If you would like to support the work that we are doing that apparently has these billionaires shaking in their boots, you can buy our hat, which now says Utah Nature Security. And those donations of just $30 will go to support the work that we're doing.
You can pre-order these hats, which will go to us and Alliance for a Better Utah, the two organizations called out by Kevin O'Leary. So please support us, because we might need lawyers.
Right, the link's in our bio. Come out, Kevin.
For the record, and I never thought I would have to say this in my entire adult life, we are not Chinese foreign operatives.
Never happened.
Being paid by the Chinese government.
So,
bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin. Put your dogs away and keep my name out of your fucking mouth.
Oh, let's go. Dude, she did it. She gave him the Will Smith. All right, so they have a follow-up. Hold on, I want to see the follow-up here. Oh, shit, of course. Look at this. It says Utah, the brilliant young women that Kevin O'Leary accused of being Chinese ops just discovered Utah Speaker of the House Mike Schultz, a Republican, bought 640 acres of land right next to the data center site just 2 months before it was announced. Wow, guys. Isn't that a coincidence? Isn't that a coincidence? What a coinky dink. Oh, that's a coinky dink. Oh, I shit my pants. The Utah Speaker of the House bought a huge amount of property right next to where the data center's going. And he did this 60 days before this thing got announced. This guy must be like, guys, wait a sec. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. All right. Yo, give me Mike Schultz. All right, is this Mike Schultz's office? Yes. So I'm I'm wondering, does Mike Schultz know who shot Charlie Kirk? Because what do you mean? I think it's totally reasonable because Mike Schultz knew that a data center was coming 60 days before it happened, right? That motherfucker bought 640 acres. He can clearly see into the future. All right? So, dude, I want Mike Schultz to call me back with tonight's lottery numbers. All right? All right, don't fuck it up. All right, bye-bye. Dude, Kermit's like, fuck you. Dude, that's crazy, guys. That is crazy. All right, here we go.
So after Kevin O'Leary went on Fox News to accuse us of being operatives for the Chinese government, we did not back down on the data center. In fact, we actually dug in more. So today's fresh hill is that Utah Speaker of the House Mike Schultz owns 600 acres near the Stratos project site. As one normally does, we were scrolling around looking at the parcels of land that are right around the proposed data center. And wouldn't you know it, we happened upon a little parcel of land with the owner name being labeled as Mike Schultz Inc. And it doesn't take an investigative journalist to find that it is in fact owned by the Utah Speaker of the House, Mike Schultz. And these two combined parcels of land total up to about 640 acres. And that 640 acres is just about 3 miles away from the Stratos project site, right next to the freeway interchange. Huh, that's coincidence.
So like any normal person does, you go to the 𝗏𝗪𝗪 County Recorder's office and you pay $1.50 and you can get the deed for that land. And wouldn't you know it, but this piece of property, Mike Schultz bought on January 3rd of 2025. And then to put the cherry on top, all of this land he bought for, quote, $10 and other good and valuable consideration.
No way.
Apparently, this is like a legal term, the $10 and other good and valuable consideration that people use because in Utah, you don't have to disclose how much you bought this property for. So people put $10 because it satisfies what is legally required without having to disclose exactly what they paid for it.
Dude, how dirty is that, bro? Right? Like, so we don't know if he paid $10, but that allows them to hide the amount. See, this is the shit, guys, about like capitalism that sucks ass, is because this whole thing is set up for these guys to just loot us. Okay? That's it. The whole thing is set up for them to loot us. You know? They can just buy and hide and sneak and cheat and, you know, like play the game, beat the game, launder money, launder land, set shit up, set it up in advance, lie through their fucking teeth, and we just sit there and get fucking hammered, boss.
If anything, we are not saying that Speaker of the House Mike Schultz bought this because he knew that there was a data center project coming. In a recent interview, he said that he only found out about this project in April with everyone else. But what we are saying is it is a pretty big coincidence that he owns this much land right next to this data site that he bought last January. He calls himself a farmer and a rancher. But what you might not know is that before he was a farmer and a rancher, he was a developer. Mike Schultz is also a millionaire, and his most recent conflict of interest disclosures list 25 business entities. All of those ranging from hotels in Hawaii to real estate to apartment buildings to his private plane. So Mike Schultz does own some farming and ranching land near 𝗏𝗪𝗪. Said correctly. We're not Chinese operatives. But his businesses operate from Davis to Box Elder County. And for a man who has 30 years of development experience, he might be exactly the right person to look at 640 acres of land right near a project like this and know exactly how much that land is going to appreciate in the next few years.
So after learning all of this, we decided to look at some other places around the country where they have built data centers and what the land value around the data centers have grown to. So according to Land App, land value around data centers has increased between 2 and 4 times its agricultural value. And an organization called CBRE has said that the land around the data center in Loudoun County, Virginia has increased 16 times compared to the next property value. There are developers that are offering people $4.4 million an acre around other data centers in the United States. Now, we know that Box Elder County is different from Loudoun County, Virginia, or any of these other places, and we are not saying, again, that Mike Schultz bought this property because he knew about this thing that was happening and he knew how much the property value would increase, and he happens to own all of these development companies and construction companies, but these questions have not been asked on the public record. We are not in a position to answer those questions, but we encourage other people to try and get answers to those questions.
Jesus, is that gonna be the fucking future though, where they're gonna put a data center in rural areas and then the people that own property around those data centers are just gonna get rich as fuck? Like, right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that as they expand them, there are, do we need to start going to buy land around data centers? That's crazy, right? Like, dude, it is so fucking, what are we even doing? Guys, I just don't see these data centers as having that much value for the people. I mean, you know what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen check this out, guys. Check this out. So here's what's more likely going to happen is they put in a data center and the data center is like loud and it pollutes and it jacks up the utility bills. And so they're probably going to buy the land from the people that live in these rural areas to be like, hey, you want to get away from that data center? We're going to go ahead and just buy this land from you and we'll give you a good deal. And then they'll sit on it until it becomes like totally valuable. Like, I'm sure that's what's going to happen. They're going to buy out the residents while the data center is destroying their quality of life. And then they will sit on that land, right? You know what I mean? That's kind of like what I see more likely. They're going to like gentrify. They're going to data center gentrify, right? Which is like, oh yeah, the neighbor data center moved in. I know it's loud and your utility bills went up and the pollution, it sucks. You want to move? Oh, what's your property value? It's worth 200 grand. I'll give you 300 grand for it. And the people will be like, oh, I'm getting an increased price to get away from the data center. And then 10 years later, they'll sell that $300,000 piece of land for like $2 million, dude. Right? The VCs are going to start buying up. I bet you anything, dude. I can envision it. Dude, Chetler said, Pine Box dance party. Let's go, dude. I'll set up the dance party, dude. Elf says his next project is buying property for a data center so I can play music for free. Let's go, Elf. Dude, that's a good idea, boss. Dude, I'm going to be in data center property now. All right, here we go. You just know it's going to be a racket, guys. And you know it's going to be a racket that does not benefit like regular tax-paying people, okay?
Now, Mike Schultz is not the only Utah legislator that happens to own property very close to the Stratos data center project. Senator Scott Sandel also owns a large amount of land about 3 to 4 miles away from the project. Now, Sandel said on the record that he hasn't been approached about selling his land yet, but he might sell it for the right price. And Senator Sandel just happens to be the same Senator Sandel that sponsored SB 132 during the 2025 legislative session. This was the bill that made this Stratos data center possible. What are the chances?
Of course it was.
All state legislators have to fill out a conflict of interest form every single year, but Mike Schultz Inc. he lists as a holding company. Now, by Utah law, he is not required to say what that holding company owns. There is an optional section of the conflict of interest form, item 6A, where they have the option to disclose if they have investments that might lead to a conflict of interest. Mike Schultz has left this section blank on every single one of his conflict of interest disclosures.
Of course
Under
he
Utah
has.
law, which Mike Schultz and Senator Scott Sandel have helped to create, all of this is completely legal. Ethical?
So if Kevin O'Leary can go on national Fox News and accuse us of being Chinese operatives and ask to audit our books, I think that we should propose some audits of our own. Maybe the timing of all of the meetings that Kevin O'Leary had with state leaders, there are contradicting reports, an audit of the deed and the $10 that Mike Schultz spent, plus his other good and valuable considerations to buy these 2 parcels of land. Should be auditing the holding companies and disclosure forms laws around our Utah legislators. Maybe we should audit the people who stand to benefit from a project like this and how much their messaging has changed given the public pushback. Because this is a continued pattern that we see in Utah where people in power and people with money are continuing to get more power and more money off the backs of everyday Utahns and destroying our environment while they're at it. If you want to see the full documentation or a beautiful interactive map that Jackie made on Google Maps of where all these parcels of land exist, you can go to our Substack, go to elevateutah.news, and you can see that. And if you once again would like to buy a house.
All right, so dude, that shit is brutal, boss. So they created the laws that allow them to have holding companies that are exempt from being like transparent So therefore, they can operate this type of shady, underhanded, double dealing, sneaky dealing, insider trading shit inside the context of a holding company, and then they don't have to report any conflict of interest, and voila, and it's all legal. And guys, this is part of the reason why when we have narratives about crime, it gets real sticky, okay? Because in America, guys, crime is not a singular thing, guys. Because what you have when it comes to the concept of crime in America is you have the men that are making the laws are literally writing the laws that allow crime, okay? Like white collar crime gets protected because the people making the laws are the ones committing it, okay? Crime is, our crime is based on our laws, but then as you see with this, the guys making the laws are writing laws that allow them to commit crimes and in a perfectly legal way. And man, this is bullshit. Elf, Bamf, dance party, yes! Oh, Elon! You fucked on, boss. Thank you, Elf. Dude, Elfinator's kicking ass right now. Bro. Dude. Oh my God. Dude, you guys are talking about Mormons. I can't help but think of the beginning of Burn After Reading, right? When John Malkovich gets called in and they're talking to him about his drinking problem. And he was like, dude, a drinking problem? He's like, you're a Mormon. Everybody has a drinking problem. Compared to you, everybody has a drinking problem. Dude, he's like, I am being crucified. Dude, I fucking love that movie. Oh, shit, that movie is good. But yeah, so, now, I don't want you to get the wrong idea here because Tucker Carlson is a fucking piece of shit, okay? He is. All right, Tucker Carlson is a piece of shit, but he does ask fucking Kevin O'Leary some questions here that I think this little snippet here is of value, not because of Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is never getting off for, his replacement theory, like evangelical Christianity weirdo-ness, okay? Like, we're not letting Tucker off. But I want to talk about some shit that Kevin O'Leary says here. And again, he's wearing the flip-flops with the suit. That is automatic life imprisonment. That's Epstein class violation B section 69420, right, of the political punk code. Section PP 69.420.11 says if you wear flip-flops and a suit, you have committed an Epstein class crime that is equivalent to child raping, and therefore you go away for life imprisonment. Dude, Regal says maybe time for a 1929 crash for an elite reset. I'm into it. Let's do it, dude. Show me where to smash. Dude, Pine Box Dance Party, LFG, Ella! All right, guys, we got 23 minutes, 27 away, but let's watch this clip, guys. All right, let's listen to what Kevin O'Leary's trying to sell us here. Because homie here is trying to sell us some shit, boss. Hold on, I'm going to bring this up. There we go. All right, I want to get the whole thing in there. All right, going to get those flip-flops.
Tucker.
Jesus, I'm sorry about that, guys. Holy shit. Dude, what the fuck, bro? I feel like I just had a PTSD event that was so loud, dude.
Tucker, I'll speak for myself on this. I'm not motivated by money anymore. That is not why I get up and work 18 hours a day. I want to build something incredible. I want my legacy for my children to be something that they're honored by.
Right.
I want to compete against the Chinese. I don't like the Chinese government, in case anybody has noticed that over the last 5 years. I don't like how they treat their people. I don't like how they treat me in business. I simply don't like them. What's motivating me now with all of this barrage, this firestorm, which I understand you've experienced in the past, is I want to beat them in AI. I don't want them controlling the most advanced models, wherever that's taking us, because you bring up great points about the unknown in jobs and everything else. But I want to be part of the team that makes sure our way of life in North America remains the same for my children. I don't give a shit about money anymore. I don't need any more money. I've already been very successful. I'm very lucky, but I'm not finished. I'm very motivated to win. And if people want to compete with me, I want that. If they don't think my motivation is to beat the Chinese, they're wrong. I am going to beat them.
Dude, he should just go have a fucking wrestling match, dude, with President Xi or something.
I'm going to show them these data centers. They're going to be this shining example of how you do this sustainably, because I'm the only guy that is graduated out of environmental studies and builds data centers. No one else on earth has done that.
Do you think
All right, so let's pause here. First off, let's look at what is Kevin O'Leary's net worth, okay? This guy is worth $400 million, okay? He sold his software company 𝗙𝗪𝗏 to Mattel for $4 billion. All right, so I mean, how is he only worth $400 million if he fucking sold a company for $4 billion? I'm curious about that. Okay, right, dude? You're welcome, 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏. Let's go. I'm not understanding the math on that, right? That can't possibly be correct. Okay. He sells a company for $4 billion, and now has he lost 90% of his wealth? Right? Oh, he had investors. Got it. So all right. So he's worth $500 million. All right, whatever. All right. I thought he had more money than that. Well, that kind of explains why he's committing these, Epstein class violations. But let's touch on what he says. First off, okay, this guy does not work 18 hours a day. This guy goes on like Fox News or some sort of talk show every day. That is a significant chunk of his day is like getting ready to do some news show. Okay. And believe me when I say getting ready to do a show like that or whatever, he's not working 18 hours a day. Okay. This guy, not even close to 18 hours a day. Not even close. I bet he's working about 5 hours a day. That's for starters. Number 2, though, this guy's saying, oh, I'm not even in it about money. He says, I don't even need the money. This is about doing something meaningful. Bullshit, okay? Because all of these guys that are not in it about the money, they keep moving their businesses to Texas or Nevada or Florida where there's no state taxes, right? They keep like having taxpayers fund and pay for their companies and shit. Give them tax breaks. Give them money to build these data centers. Because if you look at the data center rackets, guys, here's what happens. A data center comes up and then it goes to the city or the county or the state, and then they take taxpayer money and give it to them. Give them huge tax breaks. They will often like fund the building out of critical infrastructure. They're basically buying the data center into their community. And then they do that for the creation of this one-time set of construction jobs that come in and build the data centers. Now, I'd be willing to bet that because the building of these data centers are rather specific, I would not even be surprised if you have specific crews coming from out of state. I would be willing to bet that they are not using local construction crews often to build these things. they're probably just hiring the locals for like the latrines and the craft service, like feeding these people. And maybe they're housing them in motels or some type of like corporate apartment sort of situation. But I guarantee you there's not a lot of the local jobs. Like there aren't a lot of local jobs happening. Okay. So they have this specialized crew comes in and the town makes a little bit of money supporting that crew. And then the data center goes up and starts sucking up all the resources. And then the people are left footing the bill. And what ends up happening is the government people who approve this shit, who own stock or buy the land around the data center, they're all profiting. And then the people who live next to it and work next to it, they're getting fucking shafted. Okay, they are getting shafted. Dude, Jason's, let's go, shrimp on the bobby. Dude, 𝗙𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 says, have been working a different shift. It's great to be catching the live stream tonight. Tommy, you keep me sane. Dance party, LFG, let's go. Dude, let's go, 𝗙𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. We appreciate you, boss. Dude, Jason's Australiana. Dude, we saw the Kilo Charlie. We got another one here from Jason's. Let's go, Bobby. All right, 21 away, guys. 21 and 16. Let's go. We're going to secure the dance party. Now, guys, you ready? So now this is obviously not the one, but the one that I wanted to see with Tucker is where he asked him about this, okay? Where he says, let me see here. Let me find the one. There's one here where Tucker asked him these questions. All right, right here. You ready? This one.
I used AI last week with a tool to actually, after scanning all the images, to go look at them for 2 weeks. And now I'm able to just go to this computer and say, find a picture of my wife the day I met her in the gym. Boom. There it is. Now,
it's amazing. No, you're kind of making my point, though, because the two examples you gave are examples of a machine replacing human labor and doing a better job than any person could do.
oh, Tucker, that's horrible.
Which is great.
Well,
but hold on.
that's my point.
Well, I know it's your point. I know it's your point, and I can see the marvel of it. But it raises the question, which won't go away, which is, okay, now that machines do what people do better than people did, what do people do?
Okay.
And what is the answer to that?
Let me ask you, let me pose a question against that.
Slave labor is what they do. I'm still waiting for my Obama and Biden dollars. Dude, I mean, dude, see, but guys, again, that's a novelty. Is that necessary? Do you need to fund a $4 billion data center so you can not have to scroll through a hard drive looking for a photo of your wife? How often are you going to request a photo of your wife? Do we need to make it so it's 135 degrees in Denver, Colorado in February because some rich fat cat wants to sit on his private plane and have AI search photos of his wife? It's just, is that a necessary item? Okay, great. You got access, but I don't think that's a good trade-off. Birthday suits in private are the exception. Let's go. Dude, birthday suits are fine. Flip-flops in a suit, automatic jail sentence.
Would you prefer? I'm giving you one of two options with the uncertainty of both, okay? But I want you to pick one. This will tell me a lot about how you think. Would you prefer, in the next 5 years, that China have more compute power than we do, even though the use and the outcome and jobs and everything else we're talking about is unknown? Or would you prefer the United States of America and their allies in North America had more compute power to develop AI?
It depends. Whichever makes the United States happier, freer, and more prosperous, I guess, is the answer.
Well, do you know what the answer to that is? What do you think it is?
I'm not sure that we know. I know that reducing this question to a competition between the United States and China is a very quick way to derail people from the core questions, which revolve around whether or not it's a good idea. So
I know that whoever has the most data centers is getting the most resources sucked up, for sure.
That's always kind of a red flag for me. China has more economic power now than the United States, probably has more military power. I didn't want either of those things to happen. I'm a little bitter at the American business community, which allowed them to happen, but they happened. So here we are. there's not much I can do about it. My focus remains, however, on, is it good for the United States? Is it good for us? Does it make people happy? And I don't understand what people are going to do for a living if machines are going to be able to do most things that people currently do better than people do them. Like,
now, see, I've said that I think we're moving into a realm where people are going to become content creators. Okay? Realistically, becoming a content creator or an artist, I think might end up being the future. Like, maybe that's going to be the future, that we all become artists because there's no more jobs to do. But living in an AI world is so fucking unbearable that you actually need some soulful artistic creations to prevent from like seeking the edge, right? I mean, maybe, I don't know, but it is a very real situation here of like, you know, people, we are going to run out of jobs, particularly the unskilled jobs or the jobs called unskilled. But the thing though, see, the thing about that is AI is like temporarily taking artist jobs, but I think AI is eventually, the human soul will come back into play, right? Like when everything's AI, you know, as soon as everything went digital, vinyl made a comeback, right? And so when everything is AI, I think the value of human created shit will be beneficial again. I think. I, you know, even having been a sound designer, let me just tell you guys, okay, I was a sound designer before I got into Fortnite and streaming. And because I was a sound designer who operates in a home office, I didn't do Foley. I would use sound libraries, okay? But a lot of movies use Foley, where a person is actually making the sound with real objects. Foley brings an element to movies that like a sound library can't. There is something about Foley sound that has a quality that only the big blockbuster movies can afford this, but the movies that can afford it have this fucking quality to them because they're human made, right? Human made shit. There is a difference. There is a like, there is a, like, you can't, you're like the part of you that yearns for human connection in art. If a machine is making it without a human, I don't think you can attach to it the same way. You can experience it, but it doesn't allow you to like, it doesn't like latch into you like two plugs coming together, you know, when there's no human involved. And I don't think they're ever going to solve that issue. I mean, right now, the AI is not replacing the human creativity. The AI is replacing like technical jobs of designing things in Illustrator, right? It's not yet replacing like the human creative thing. It's replacing more of the artist jobs that were like set painters, kind of like digital painters are getting replaced, and compositors are getting replaced. But the creative technicians, the people that are actually like pulling the strings on the artwork, are still involved. And so it's removing the laborers first, which is what it's going to do in every industry, right? It's going to remove, eventually, when you add robots, dude, a whole bunch of like every factory job on the planet is going to fucking disappear, guys. And I don't know what they think people are going to do, right? You know, LFG, let's go. I know Elon keeps saying there's going to be like so much abundance that everything's just going to be like, we're all going to be wealthy, but I'm not really buying that, right? This is a guy who won't even pay taxes. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes. Let's secure that dance party, and then we're going to finish the Tucker thing. You know what I wonder, guys? You ready? What I wonder is how long before like the revolution is like blowing up data centers, right? I mean, don't you think that eventually, you know, that's going to be like the fucking, That's going to be the revolution right there. You know? Dude, that, you know what I'm saying? That, I think that is going to be, that's going to be interesting. And grain. Let's go. What am I going to do after Tucker? I think I'm going to look at that Cenk Uygur stuff and maybe that Ryan Grimm thing. Dude, do we have anything on Erica Kirk or Nick Fuentes that we haven't seen? I'm definitely going to watch that. Dude, we have to look at a little bit of Trump, too. Trump's taking, like, the economy shit that he's been doing. Dude, he's doubling down on shit. All right, guys, 17. 6 minutes, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Trump is whack. Yeah, and then we're going to look at the circumcision thing. I have that Kyle video queued up. Oh. Dude, yeah. I mean, is that going to become like the military is terrorism is going to be targeting data centers? You know, right? Yeah, see, David, you know the thing about this? Dude, Katie Mullins, let's go. So, guys, I am not opposed to all AI, okay? I'm not. I think there are certain things that AI is really, really good for. But what I don't like is the race, okay? You heard what Kevin O'Leary was saying. He was talking about winning the race of compute. Okay, they have a name for it, compute power. They want to win the compute power race. And the thing about this, what's your favorite game soundtrack? I don't really know any game soundtracks, Elf. I played Fortnite, and Fortnite didn't have a soundtrack. Right? So, I mean, it had like TikTok songs in the dances, so maybe I like that. Right? I did like TikTok dancing. When robots and AI combine, all low skill jobs are gone. Like for me, the thing is that race to acquire compute power, okay, is the thing that is problematic, guys. Right? It's the race for this compute power when nobody knows what having a whole bunch of compute power. We don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, okay? Because realistically, they seem to want to put AI into everything. But if you don't regulate AI, if you don't regulate it and you don't put a limit on this, this is going to wreak havoc. Okay, good Saturday morning. Need some Paula? Let's go. Now, again, though, guys, I already feel like AI is fucking already advantageous to the upper classes. Okay? May Money says, hope without action means nothing to me. Me being a black woman in Oakland, California is so empowering. I'm sick of this survival. I want to live for once. Yeah, May Money. Dude, I want you to live. Dude, my ruse listen to your stream every day. Let's go, Jason. Right? All right, 11 away, guys. We got this. 11 away. You know, so the thing, though, is AI already benefits, okay? Like, if you're a manager, if you're a distributor, if you're some type of hub, if you are somebody that is, like, analyzing data for pricing or making algorithms, then AI is like your best buddy. If you are a common laborer, AI is replacing you. So even from the get-go, there's very few people on the lower end of the spectrum that are benefiting from AI, except having their brain numbed by algorithms online. So they put up with being, you know, on the bottom rung of life, and they don't revolt. That's it. But mostly AI is benefiting, right, surveillance. It's benefiting, like, becoming a better advertiser, you know, using predictive behavior, trying to sell you something or trying to get you to purchase, or it's like dynamic pricing so they can soak you at the grocery store, et cetera, et cetera. P-Stats is in the house. T fire for motivation. Oh, Trump fire. Let's go. There he is. We love your Aussie accent. Oh, Jason's. Oh, shrimp on the barbie. Thank you, Jason's. Hey, my terrible Aussie accent. All right, guys, 9 away, baby. 2 minutes. We're getting it. No overtime today, baby. No overtime. So yeah, I feel like AI is already, it's like worsening the wealth gap, guys. It is worsening the wealth gap. Okay, that's what it is. It is like people, already people that are, the upperclassmen are benefiting from AI and the lower class are not. And so it is already widening that wealth gap. I need the dance. Let's go, wealth. And so that is a problem because it's widening the wealth gap, and those people down on the bottom are the bottom of the sort of labor scale. They're pretty soon, they're not even going to have a way to earn money. And so that, I don't like that. I don't like that it's not really a usable tool to benefit, generating more income for low-income people. And in fact, it is just rapidly accelerating the transfer of wealth to the wealthy. All right, guys, we need 7 more, dude. 1 minute. This is it, baby. 7. Here's your sample. Let's go. 7 away, guys. Oh, shit. 6 away. Let's go, Jasons. We're coming down to the wire. Oh. 40 seconds, guys. 5 away, MJ. Let's go. Yes. Oh, shit, dude. We need 1 every 6 seconds. Victor, my grandson and I use AI to write a program for his engine control unit for his VW. Let's go. Dude, love it, Victor. Right, 4 away, 3 away, Lynn's videos. Let's go, dance, dance, dance. 2 away, Ella. Let's go, 18 seconds. Here we go, baby. 1 away, Jason's. There it is. Goal completed. Whoa. Whoa. Let's go, MJ. Oh. Dude, Shelly has an opinion. Yes, the final countdown. We got this. Yo, J-Laws. Let's go. Go. Oh, let's go. That's how you do it. Oh, shit, bro. 𝗙𝗍𝗃 𝗏𝗃 is Friday night. Let's go. Oh, shit. All right, dude. Well done. Well done. Let's go. We nailed it. Yeah. So I want to see the rest of this Tucker clip, and then we're going to fucking move on, boss. Data center sounds better than surveillance center. There's really not a lot good about these things.
What is the answer? And a lot of people are honest enough to say nothing. We're just the oligarchs are gonna send out checks to everybody, the bread and circuses, and everyone's just gonna kind of stay home and be obedient. But I don't know that is a good idea, and I don't know.
I think you're raising a great point. It's a wonderful debate, and it's certainly going on. But it's analogous to the narrative that must have been happening back when the Model T Ford rolled off the assembly line, and everybody that had a buggy looked at it and said, "Oh no, this is going to wipe me out, and there'll be no work for me."
No, dude, that's bullshit. Because when that happened, and it was like, oh shit, the assembly line is the new creating things, right? And so factories popped up everywhere, and there were like assembly lines for every product out there. The problem with the data center is once that thing is built, there's no jobs, okay? It's like building a factory to make all the shit, but then once you build the factory runs on its own, okay? With the Model T Ford and the assembly line, that automation allowed people to make shit fast, so they were then employing tens of thousands of people, millions of people, in order to make lots of shit fast. But these data centers make shit fast without people, okay? If these data centers required a full staff, if every data center brought 10,000 jobs, no one would have an issue with the data center. The issue with the data center is once that thing is working, there's like 5 jobs, bro. That's it. There's like, right? There's like 5 security guards. Maybe there's like 20. There's a couple techs. There's a handful of security guards. There's like no jobs, dude. Right? That's the difference. The difference is the assembly line made it so you could mass produce quantities with human beings. Okay? And this is making it so you can mass produce quantities without human beings. Right? So, okay. So then what do the human beings do?
That the American economy is very resilient as it develops new sectors.
What happened after the Model T was rolled out? We had 2 big events in the, say, 40 years after
We
that.
actually had
one was the
in a-
First
in a-
World
in a-
War and one was the Second
Right.
World War. The Industrial Revolution, like all
Right.
technological change, caused dramatic political and social change, which resulted in the biggest bloodletting in human history. So I'm like, it's worth thinking this stuff through. Like, technological change forces
It's
social
fair
and
enough,
political
but
change. Yeah.
unfortunately,
Dude, that's actually interesting to think about, right? Fuck you, Tucker. I don't like you. But that is an interesting thought. That was it the upheaval from the Industrial Revolution that contributed to sparking those wars? I mean, I will say that when you think about it, those wars were big business, okay? Those wars were, oh my God, dude, the American economy flourished. Like, we became the weapons and munitions dealer to the world as a result of those wars, right? AI to tax jobless, enrolled living, and everyone waiting for proof of God at death. No more our God is top God. Believe in pizza when you pass. May show. All right, name to rich. Let's go. Dude, let's go, dude. You know, dude, Tucker Tarlson.
capitalism and the freedom it provides is volatile. And it has lots of periods, including the Great Depression, where it taxes the people that support it. But it's still better than the alternative anywhere on earth, it seems, 200 years later. And so, you know, when you start looking at the American economy and the vol it's had, it's been unbelievable. But the system, with all its faults, and you're raising some good points, I agree with you. I'm just trying to think what's the alternative. And regarding AI and the ultimate issue around your job issue, and I think it's fair. I'm looking at it differently. I'm looking at it as insurance. I would prefer, even though the future is uncertain and the outcome, you know, and the end is always near, to quote Jim Morrison. I love that line in his song.
Roadhouse Blues.
Yeah,
dude, the end is always near. Oh, I love that line. Dude, Jim Morrison would kick you right in the fucking testicles, bro.
The future is uncertain and the end is always near. Words I live by. But it's sort of, if you had to give me the two alternatives, let China do this first or us, I'll take us. And I'm part of that now. And in the controversy of it, we started our conversation. I've never seen a controversy like this. I've never seen attacks like this. I know you have, but I haven't experienced it. And I'm hiring.
Well, I mean, if you take money from taxpayers, you should expect them to weigh in too and take their complaints seriously and not just dismiss them as agents.
And you're right, but this has been going on. Incentives, state by state, in every sector happen, even in real estate.
Not incentives. It's a forced transfer of wealth from taxpayers to people who are richer than taxpayers. So, like,
no, they're not.
Of course, they have
you get a tax break to create 2,000 jobs, and the taxpayer wouldn't do it if it wasn't the long-term outcome.
The taxpayer has no choice.
The taxpayer's not doing it. The government people do this shit. The taxpayers don't want to pay for stadiums or build a data center. We get fucking sold out, bro.
They do have a choice. They could say no. That's not what happened.
Well, they tried to say no to this data center, and they got laughed at, and then the governor, Spencer Cox of Utah, who really is a kind of living symbol of our ruling class, said that the state has an obligation to do this, and basically, as you are doing, waved away concerns as like foreign propaganda when I think there are probably non-crazy people living in Utah.
I mean, did we not just watch Kevin O'Leary go on national TV declaring that the taxpayers that were fighting the data center were like Chinese operatives? We literally just witnessed that, right? Oh, they can say no. Yeah. And then some billionaire or half-billionaire asshole wearing flip-flops with a suit will go on national TV to like start a fucking conspiracy theory that they're working for the Chinese to get him shut down. So don't tell me, Kevin O'Leary, you Epstein class weirdo, flip-flop with a suit wearing like life sentence motherfucker. Don't tell me that it works that way.
Like, why is this good for me? Why should I pay for this?
It's fair. It's fair. All this is fair. How about we forget the data center and just talk about the power for a second?
Dude, oh my God, bro. You know what I'm saying? And there it is. Shark Tank billionaire Kevin O'Leary says 2 people fighting data centers in Utah are Chinese agents, right? The 2 young ladies. Oh shit, bro. Dude. Yeah. And again, though, guys, you know, some of the shit that is really problematic with this, guys, is the fact that these guys, okay, these like investor types, they're just trying to win the race of like having the power. They're not thinking about the cost of that power. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like think about it this way. Let me give you an example. Okay? Something from my day and age. Okay? What used to happen in my Gen X boomer days was sometimes people would become CEO of a company and they would get really ambitious and they would like open up too many outlets of a store. They would expand too wide, too fast, and they would lose their whole goddamn business because what they wanted to be was they wanted to be the biggest chain. They wanted to win the race of like having the most outlets or the most, you know, drive-throughs or whatever, but they didn't think about what the cost was going to be once they acquired the kingdom. All right? And so then, like, you know, empires were falling because people were getting overextended. And I mean, guys, this is essentially what happened in the housing crisis, too. People were buying mortgages they couldn't afford, and they had put so many of them out there that they all just started defaulting at the same time, right? And shit just went haywire and everything fucking collapsed, you know? And so this is the problem we're having is these guys are now like AI's the thing. Everybody's competing for this shit. And so they're like, yeah, let's go all in and let's just like win the compute power race. But the problem is once we have won the compute power race, what are we going to have? Is that going to be the end of the American empire? Because we have now sucked up all our resources and now they can just target our data centers and knock out all of our infrastructure because all of our infrastructure is tied to fucking 5,000 targets that like, right? That they just bomb a quick, you know, 500 bombs go off one day and our entire fucking country goes haywire. Dude, Mr. Rogers should be a TV show for everyone. Let's go Elf. Right? Or you win the compute power and there's no fucking jobs, right? You win the compute power and all of the factory jobs are gone. Or all of the, you know, you start losing service industry jobs. Or pretty soon, you know, every, you know, farming has been decimated. Or, right? I mean, we could just go down the list of things that are going to be affected by this shit. And that's the thing, man. I think, you know, it's like the arms race, the .com race, the fucking, you know, now we're in the AI race. There was the, you know, I mean, there's a race to buy up real estate. But yeah, dude, we have over 5,000 guys. Look at this data center right now.
You stay up.
Let me just show you here. All right, hold on. We're gonna find the graphic here. Here's the graphic. Okay. We have 5,381 data centers. The next nearest individual, like government, has 514 in Great Britain, 521 in Germany, and 449 in China, which means that we are like exhausting resources at astronomical levels compared to the rest of the world, guys. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, let's see, what is the population of Germany? Hold on. So Germany's population is 83 million. So there's essentially 3 Germanys. So Germany, if Germany was like as big as the US, right? Or 4, they would have 2,000 and change. Okay? So we have data centers at twice the rate of Germany. Okay? And we have data centers, China is like 1 billion people. Okay? So they're like 3 of us. So we're like insanely, like we have way more than China at the rate. But even Germany, which is the next, biggest data center, we have 3x the amount of data centers per population that they do, like 3 times, double to 3 times. Germany is right here, Deutschland, right there. It's this one, 521. And then Great Britain, 514. Those are the biggies. Right? It's crazy, dude. Yeah. Australia, 307. Dude, yeah. No, this doesn't show how big the data centers are. It does not. But they're all resource hogs. Dude, let's go. PGE residential electricity rates have increased roughly 40 to 45% over the past 5 years in Oregon. Just looked it up. Crazy, Victor. That's nuts. See, I will say this, guys. We're lucky, okay? Because we're not on PGE. And also I think PGE, they handle a lot of the rural area. The power company we're on does not really service the data center area, and like our electricity in the city has remained stable. I mean, it's gone up a little bit, but our power bill, even with we have a big house and we leave a lot of lights on. I have computers on like 24 hours a day and shit. And our power bill is still only like $100 a month, which is crazy for a big house. I mean, all of our lights are like, all of the built-in lights are LEDs. We did make everything LEDs. And PG&E, PG&E is California. PGE is Oregon. That's different, right? Right. PG&E and PGE. I think they're different. I think they're different companies. I don't know if they're related. But PGE is Portland General Electric, right? And then we also have Pacific Power up here. But yeah, dude, we're like, our power bill has stayed pretty chill. PG&E is in California. Yeah, so you're in PG&E, you're in California, Shy, yeah? PSE, let's go. We're Pacific Power, baby. Let's go. PP. Oh, shit, dude. PP. PP gets his power from PP. PP powered PP. Dude, I'm a PP powered PP. Let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, we love it. We love to power the PP with more PP. Dude. Oh, fuck, bro. All right, I want to just see Kevin O'Leary's little bit here about this data centers, and then we're moving on.
Let's take 40,000 acres in Utah and make it possible for the government to know where you are at all times and what you're thinking, listening to you on your phone. Like, we have that.
You have to choose the less.
Dude, we have to kill the fucking That one's got some copyrighted music, I think, on there. So we're going to move away. You have Netherlands has 300 with 17 million people. You're on par with America. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is that you guys? 297, right? So 300. You only have 17 million people? Dude, really? So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, or 18 million. All right, so you're 20 times. So yeah, dude, you guys are building them on par with us. But you know, though, you ready for this though? I feel like I don't know if this is accurate or not, guys, but I feel like a lot of these numbers are almost maxed out, right? Like I don't know that like France, Netherlands, like I don't know that some of these European countries are going to be able to build that many more. You know, like realistically, I don't know how many you're going to be able to acquire, which is crazy because like, what is the U.S. going to look like in 100 years? Like you're going to have New York, Chicago, L.A., Dallas, Miami, Seattle, San Francisco, Atlanta, St. Louis, and they're going to be like metropolises that look like Dubai, and then the entire rest of the country in America is going to be 100 degrees, 120 degrees filled with data centers, and we're all going to be homeless, like cannibalizing each other outside data centers. Dude, it's going to be like World War Z, bro. It's fucked up, bro. Oh, shit. Are the Netherlands, how are the Netherlands powering theirs? That's my chief concern, guys. That is my chief concern is why are we killing solar, right? We're building all these data centers, but we're killing solar and wind and every alternative energy. And, you know, and they're just like data centers powered by coal. Welcome to the new West Virginia, right? Welcome to the new fucking, what's that fucking guy's name? The West Virginia governor, Jim Justice, right? Oh, Jim Justice is out. Okay. But remember Jim Justice? Remember this guy? I think he's a senator now. Oh, yeah, he moved to the Senate. This guy, right? It's Jim Justice. Oh, shit. Well, welcome to my new coal-powered data center. We have like 5,000 Appalachian West Virginians have died. It's fueled on the ashes of coal and the ashes of coal miners. My new data center powered on the ashes of coal miners. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, he is a douchebag, bro. He is. And now he's driving around in a fucking cart, boss. He went from being governor to being senator. There he is. There's the extremely wealthy 400-pound senator from fucking, right? 400-pound senator from West Virginia. Jeez Louise. All right, next up. Let's look at some 𝗙ηκε Uygur stuff. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's like there's some shit going on with Cenk Uygur and Michael Tracy. Do we have video here or is it just pictures? Is there some video from this event? Because I've seen the tweets. Do you have any video clips from this? or no? Dude, Michael Tracy is trash. There's no video? Oh, got you. Got it. So we don't have any video. So what we have though is then here, we'll read this and we'll look at it and so what, this is the After Hours Web Summit. So is this is going on tonight? Is it going on right now? Right? Dude, yeah, dude, Tracy, Michael Tracy, in case you guys don't know, he is a journalist, but he is a guy who routinely harasses the Epstein survivors, okay? That's what he does. He basically attacks a lot of women. Oh, this was 2 to 3 days ago, and so there's not going to be any video footage of this. But he says, Cenk Uygur, okay, Cenk was added as a moderator to this panel at the last minute. One point he decided to raise was how grateful everyone should be for Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, since they've converted so many people to the anti-Israel cause. Or in other words, we should all deeply appreciate the torrent of absolute brain-melted nonsense they've unleashed, like that Trump is being controlled by the Antichrist or is himself the Antichrist, and that's why he went to war with Iran. Candace espousing her latest lunatic version of the protocols of the elders of Zion is also fantastic. Cenk is fully algorithm-brained, which may have been why, as moderator, he thought it prudent to start screaming wildly about Israel, genocide, fascists, etc., even after Stephen Walt had asked him to please calm it down. But Cenk couldn't oblige, at which point Walt, not some pro-Israel zealot, amazingly got up and left the stage right in the middle of the panel and exited the venue entirely, leaving an awkward empty chair for the remainder of the Gab Fest. Okay, so dude, this is like pretty wild. Because again, guys, for me, this is flummoxing, okay? Because we absolutely have a problem with Israel and Zionism. And most of that problem is coming from the American evangelical billionaire community, all right? And the people inside and related to Trump's government. So this is a massive problem. But what's crazy about this is there are multiple, there's like anti-Semites rallying the anti-Zionist people and then trying to woo them into their like legions under the guise of populism. And so that's what I want to be very clear about, okay? That Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, they are not just anti-Zionist, okay? They are like Jewish cabal, anti-Semitic. They think that they've been talking about like a George Soros world cabal for, 20 fucking years, 15 years. But the problem is there are legitimate people that are fighting for the rights of Palestinians and fighting for the rights of the Middle East to not have an American bully Israel starting wars with them all the time. And those people are really disenfranchised with the U.S. government and with Israel, right? Well, the problem is people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, who are also evangelical weirdos, they're running around being like, hey, Palestinian fighters, we agree with you. We're anti-Israel too. And we've got this really great populist message. But they don't have a really great populist message. Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly and the Heritage Foundation, they want evangelical fascism, guys. They want us to be the Saudi Arabia of the King James Bible, okay? That's what they want. And they're acting like, no, we want to liberate the Palestinians and genocide. Oh, no, they don't. they'll genocide everybody who's not a Christian in 2 fucking seconds. So I don't like the fact that, you know, somebody like Cenk and Anna, who supposedly were pro-Palestinian, right, with Jordan Newell and Francesca and Kyle and Emma and everybody else in the fucking free world, everyone with a brain, you thought Cenk and Anna were on their side, but now you see, no, Cenk and Anna are working for Tucker and MTG and Candace. And they're like, all of a sudden, they're selling us the Saudi Arabia Christian, like, replacement theory evangelical weirdos. That's fucking bullshit. Because whether you have a Zionist evangelical weirdo or an anti-Zionist, anti-Semitic evangelical weirdo, both of them are evangelical weirdos, okay? And yes, in the photo he fucking leaves. Oh, that is. Yeah, I didn't see another photo in there, boss. There's no other photos in these replies. It's a tweet that was quoted. Oh, got you. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, there he is. And dude, Cenk chased away like a 70-year-old man. Dude, I thought this guy was Stephen Walt. So Cenk is chasing away like 70-year-old men screaming about fucking Israel. Like, what an idiot, dude. Now Cenk is like becoming Anna. They're literally gonna run around neighborhoods, right? I picture them like out walking the streets of Woodland Hills or whatever in a residential neighborhood, being like, you support Israel? What, your shirt is blue and white. Are you a Zionist? I'm gonna call the Zionist police. What are you doing? I want you to say right now, you must say no Zionism, or I'm gonna fucking unleash this pit bull on you and he's gonna chew your fucking nuts off. Dude. Be like, yo, homie. Yo, yes, Woodland Hills police, what's up? Dude, there's like an overweight, sweaty guy having a fucking conniption out in front of my house, and he's like telling me he's calling the Zionist police on me. Can you come out here and like shoot a tranquilizer dart in his ass or something? Dude, he is fucking running around, sweating, screaming about camel toes and shit, and insisting that because my house is blue, that I am a supporter of Benjamin Netanyahu. I've never seen this fucking guy. Dude, I have no connection to Netanyahu. I just want this big sweaty weirdo off my lawn, all right? All right, bring a big dart. This guy is like, you know, this guy is like Rhino. You know what I'm saying? Bring a dart. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Dude. Dude. Oh, shit. All right, let's see. Sam Seder called Cenk out. All right, let's see Sam Seder calling out Cenk. All right, here we go.
If I have to read another obnoxious, like just completely stupid Cenk tweet about this, honestly, it's just its own personal project and trying to build a right-wing audience, fine. But just please have just like a little bit of self-awareness. I really tried not to say that.
Dude, it's true though, isn't it? Isn't it true that, like, I swear, I get tagged. I usually get tagged underneath the Cenk tweets, but like, I regularly get tagged or someone sends me a DM with a link to a Cenk tweet. It usually happens at like 8 p.m. or some shit where he is like freaking out and he is always bemoaning, like, you know, you leftists are not giving Tucker Carlson the respect he deserves, or this animosity toward MTG when you, like, we're trying to prevent genocide. None of you care about human life, right? And it's always like 9 paragraphs, okay? It is like, dude, what is going on, bro? I picture him. I just think like, is he constipated? Is he just sitting on a toilet, just like braced, just trying to squeeze, just raging? Oh, how dare you say anything about Tucker?
I really did. Didn't work. Yeah, what is the predictive markets predict in terms of where Marjorie Taylor Greene will be? Like, do you think she's going to be on the front lines of like the Palestinian rights movement?
No. No, I think she's going to be in Costa Rica, like putting fat stacks of insider trading cash into one of those money machines that they use when they make movies about drug dealers and casino operators. That's what I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be doing.
I think she's using all that fundraising power she had to raise money now for Palestinian rights organizations. I mean, give me a break.
I'm talking about Cenk.
Dude, it's true, bro. It is true. She's going to have one of those machines. You know those machines, right? Oh my God, dude. All right. The Vanguard. All right, hold on. We're gonna continue on. We have another Sam Seder clip to look at. Whatever. This is Sam Seder, I guess, and Ryan Grimm. Is this a... Oh, wait. Hassan talks about Cenk? What does Hassan say about Cenk? I'm intrigued by that.
No? What is Cenk doing? Does he have a talk too? 𝗙𝗏𝗏 𝗙𝗏𝗃. Not only had a talk, but last night he was a last-second addition to a conversation, and he caused one of the speakers to storm out of the room. Yes, apparently. And the way that Michael 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, who is also here apparently, and so is Lauren Southern, which is ironic because none of those people reach even a fraction of the controversy that seemingly I have created for this event.
Dude, they're degenerates too. Lauren Southern and Michael 𝗙𝗏𝗏 are like, they're fucking degenerates, boss.
Which goes to show the priorities of many people. But 𝗙𝗏𝗃, I made you nephew? Yeah. So 𝗙𝗏𝗃 caused, I'm going to give you the actual person who's...
All right, so he's going to say it was fucking Steve Walt. Dude, how does he process, like, you know what I mean? I mean, can he sit down? Do you think he ever sits down with Cenk and is just like, yo, like, bro, can you fucking chill the fuck out? Oh, he reads the tweet? All right, we already read the tweet. Dude, I mean, it is clear, guys. It is clear that Cenk and Anna have overdosed on this Tucker, right? Fucking thing. What the fuck is this, dude? What is this? Ryan Grimm says MTG sacrificed her political career to stand against genocide, against Trump, against the Epstein class, and to defend the survivors of Epstein's trafficking. If that doesn't earn credibility, I don't know what possibly could. But like, really? I don't see that. I don't see that, guys. Here's what I see. Okay, you ready? Here's what I see, guys. I see that Marjorie Taylor Greene saw that Trump is like a crashing plane who is destroying the fucking country. Okay? Right? That's the reality is she knows that there's going to be a gigantic feeding frenzy after the Trump thing crashes. And so what I see is this, right? Here's what I see. Let me put it out for you. She sees the plane crashing and she knows that a massive feeding frenzy is out. So what she's done is she has said Trump is bad and I disagree and he broke the rules, but I stand by the rest of my America First brothers and sisters. And now she has stepped out. So now when Trump goes off the rails, if it gets really, really bad, Marjorie Taylor Greene she's absolved. She's no longer in Congress. She no longer has to vote against him or fight against him. She doesn't incur any of the wrath. She like jumped out of the car before it slammed into the fucking people, right? The car is careening toward a crowd of people and Marjorie Taylor Greene just jumped out of the car and said everyone in that car is a piece of shit. And now she's going to wait until after the crash. She's going to come back and be like, oh, I didn't cause any of this. I'm here to help clean up. Where can I get some power? Okay? Like, you know what I mean? If she had stayed in Congress and been a fighter against Trump for the rest of her term and fucking stayed fighting in Congress and started getting other congressmen to fight Trump and I mean, she could have stayed in there and rallied a bunch of Republicans to revolt against Trump and started this revolution against Trump to destabilize him. But she didn't do that. She jumped out of the moving car before it crashes in. And then she's going to come back later and be like, oh, I had nothing to do with this, guys, even though she's the one who fucking gave them the accelerator. I know her game, dude. I know her game. Dude, she is the rat jumping off the sinking ship, and then she's going to go and loot the carcasses when that ship is like completely capsized. Dude, she did not sacrifice her political career. She is getting out of the way and getting off the burning fucking train so she can get back in there later. Right? She's going to align later. See, that's why I don't like this guy, this Ryan Grim guy. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know, I've seen a lot of his takes, and I've just not really liked him, you know? The Sam, all right, yeah, let's go. Let's go look at the Sam Ryan debate on this. We're going to see what we got here.
All right, let's get to this. This is what people, why people are tuning in. And so for, my radio instincts are like, you backload this. We would have held people over the commercial break many times. So you tweeted out. Can we find that tweet? We should have probably pulled this.
Is it going to be this tweet right here?
You tweeted out. There's obviously like this happens over and over again. It seems like there's like waves of in which ways that AOC is attacked. I'm not saying you were attacking AOC, but that in that waves of attacks. And here it is, Ryan Grubb. Here it is. This is what you tweeted out. What was the date on this? May 8th or something. Okay, so this is in response to AOC saying that she doesn't personally trust Marjorie Taylor Greene, thinks he's sort of a Johnny come lately. She was at an event where they asked her about making transpartisan coalitions. And she's talking about legislation. She's paired up with she's done this many times, maybe more than most in Congress, with Republicans to push legislation. She said, I wouldn't do this with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And you swooped in and wrote, MTG sacrificed her. Hold on for 1 second.
Dude.
You wrote, MTG sacrificed her political career to stand against genocide, against Trump, against the Epstein class, and to defend the survivors of Epstein's trafficking. If that doesn't earn credibility, I don't know what possibly could. Okay. What the? I mean, come on.
Why don't we also read what I didn't say there? There are a lot of things I didn't say that people ascribe to that.
Well, let me say this. I disagree with the second word in that, sacrificed. Because if you recall that her one piece of legislation that she promoted, this amendment to a defense bill, which AOC voted against the entire bill, we should say, came immediately after she was rejected by Donald Trump to run for Senate and for governor in Georgia. He said, no, Marjorie. This is also after she was basically kept from House leadership. So she's got her millions of dollars that she has done by insider trading in the House. Not illegal, but arguably unethical. Yes. And she decides she doesn't want to be in Congress anymore, so much so that she's going to resign in 5 months from that time. It was mid-July where she got the axe on and that's when she also introduced the legislation. So she didn't really sacrifice her political career. She took the only path that was available to her, which is, I'm going to leave. Maybe she'll come back someday, but she had nowhere else to go.
No, there's another path. The path is continuing to be in the House. Lots of people have tried to get Trump's endorsement to run statewide for something, not gotten it.
Yeah, but see, no, that's not a path, though, because that's what I was talking about. If she stayed in the House, she would have had to vocally fight him all the time. And right? I mean, if she really was trying to fight Trump, Trump is a problem, Trump is harming America, she would have stayed in there, wouldn't she? I mean, how's she gonna prevent Trump from ruining America? By sipping a French 75 on the beach in Costa Rica, or by being in Congress? I mean, give me a fucking break, dude. She bailed. She was like, I'm out. I have cash. I have Costa Rica. I'm going to go drink champagne and gin on the beach. I'm going to go get shitty. Oh, dude. She's like, yo, Costa Rica. Yeah, get some alcohol ready. I'm coming. Oh, yeah, we're going to get drunk. We're going to fuck. We're going to do pull-ups. It's going to be amazing. Right? Dude, that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Dude. And yes, he would have tried to unseat her, too. He would have definitely tried to primary her. Okay? And she bailed. She didn't even, fight to stay in. Like Thomas Massey. Or, right? There's plenty of people that Trump is going after that are staying in there and fighting this shit.
And they keep it moving. Like, she didn't have to go after him. No, you don't have to quit. She could.
Oh, she was pissed. She was spurned. I mean, look, she didn't have to do that. But we've seen her impulse control. We played the video of her peering through AOC's letter slot. Maybe drunk, maybe not. I'm not sure which is a better explanation. Sandy! We have seen impulse control is not necessarily her thing. And I don't know,
by the way, I said separately that I fully understand why AOC personally has a grudge that she's not going to let up.
Oh, sure.
MTG has not apologized for that. MTG has targeted her personally, like creepily at her door. Online constantly.
Dude, why are we even watching this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every time I see this Ryan Grimm guy's name, it's usually attached to like a really terrible fucking take. Does he own Drop Site News? Is he like why are we even listening to him? Why is he on Majority Report? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even understand why this guy has a voice. Because he's always got the worst fucking takes. So I'm trying to figure out, how did he get established? Oh, he owns Drop Site? Is that what he is? He's just a rich guy who bought a fucking news org? Oh, by the way, Jana, thank you for the dono. Appreciate you, boss. I'm watching this not because of him. I'm watching Sam Seder, right? I don't understand. He's the co-host of Breaking Points. So what do you mean the co-host? Before Sager? Or was he before Sager? Or is he a TYT alum too? Oh, let's just look at him real quick. Was he before Sager? So he was a HuffPost. Oh, he worked on The Intercept, right? So he was like the bureau chief of some of these papers. Got it. So he was like news brass. All right, is what he was. He's like news. Oh, Breaking Points has 4 hosts. I didn't know that. So he co-founded Drop Site with Scahill and him. Okay, got you. Okay, so now I get it. So Ryan Grimm was like less of a reporter and more of a news management. Okay, right? He's like a bureau chief. So he's a news management guy, which is why probably transitioning to ownership is fucking, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. Got it. Okay. I mean, I'll be honest, that may very well, right? That may very well be why he has terrible takes. I'm serious, because I feel like the people that manage are usually the ones they don't even realize what's going on. They don't, dude. You go to any restaurant and the restaurant manager is the guy who knows the least about how to handle it when it gets busy. Dude, they just stress out, dude. They have no idea. But he has such terrible takes, right? He has such his takes are so bad. And dude, he got into a fight with fucking Jesse Waters. All right, a physical altercation. That seems good. But is he supposedly a Democrat? Right? Is he supposed to be a Democrat, or is he like, is he like a raging centrist or something? He was a contributor for the Turks. Yeah, because this guy, so him and Emily, I've seen her. She has a like, I think Anna Kasparian went on her YouTube show or some shit, right? After Party. Yeah, After Party, we've seen Anna Kasparian. I made a video with Anna Kasparian on After Party. Dude, it's bad. Right? That Emily chick, not good, boss. Not good. Dude, yeah, he's like, he reminds me of one of those, he is definitely like a Republicrat, okay? He's a Republicrat. Like, he's not as far on the right. Like, there are people, okay? Let me just tell you this. So, I feel like Trump is Cenk is a Republicrat too. And there are people, guys, that are centrists that, they don't want to fuck with capitalism too much. And they want to fix healthcare, but they don't want to go to a national system because they don't want to upset the apple cart. But they're still like left-wing, right? They still believe in, left-wing social values, okay? There are people on the left that are not actually Republicans, but they don't want to upset the fucking order of things too much, but they have left-wing social values, okay? Now, I feel like the Ryan Grimm and the Cenk Uygurs you think they're that, okay? That they have left-wing social values and they're just trying to be sensible and not too far out. But I think they're actually like Republican social values. pretending to be like, right? This is why when trans rights came, Cenk and Anna broke their machinery and they couldn't do it because they don't actually have left-wing social values. Okay? And this Ryan Grimm guy, when I see him talk online, I feel like this guy does not have left-wing social values. Okay? I just feel like he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I know he's like supposedly progressive, but I still feel like he doesn't. He's progressive in economic policy, but I don't think he's really progressive in the social policy, which is why he can align with people like Tucker and MTG, because you can only align with Tucker and MTG if you look at economic policy only. You have to pretend like human beings and their social dignity doesn't exist, okay? Because that's the only way you can look at them and think, oh yeah, they're starting to make sense. Because you know that MTG and Tucker Carlson do not support like a diverse range of fucking human beings. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. They're like, they try to like skirt their piss poor social justice record by focusing on economics. You know that, and I feel like this guy is very similar to that.
On the floor, like acting like a weird bully. Like,
oh yeah, I'm not even talking about that. I'm actually, I want to stay.
That she's not going to let up.
Oh sure.
MTG has not apologized for that. MTG has targeted her personally, like creepily at her door, online constantly, on the floor, like acting like a weird bully. Like,
I'm not even talking about that. I'm actually, I want to stay on the, like, yes, I think she has every reason to personally be like, F this person. I'm never, but if she meant what she was doing, if MTG's agenda, and look, I am happy to have her saying these things that I agree with, and I think they are marginally helpful. Okay. I'm not sure who her constituency is for this, but I do think they're marginally helpful in the same way that, like, you know, the Washington Wizards are helpful to the Globetrotters. Like, it's good to have, you know, our version of Alan, what was that guy's name on Combs?
Just Combs, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have apostates, right? Like, I'm happy that Bill Kristol is, you know, is out there, and Jen Rubin,
Megan,
yeah, and all of the, like, you know, all of those never Trumpers. And she is basically a never Trumper, except for she could have stayed in Congress for another year and had a material impact on votes.
Yes.
And she decided not to do that. And my question is, like, how can you say that she sacrificed her political career to stand up against genocide, et cetera, when her career, I think in her mind, was over, at least that career play, stay in the House, do something, because I think she felt like she had to pivot. And the only way that she could do that, I mean, she could have done it in the House. She could have been voting with 𝗙𝗎.
And she could have been rallying other people to defect. But no, she's getting hammered on Costa Rica. Oh, come here, MTG, pour me a drink. Change my diaper.
Could have been, you know, like co-sponsoring things with Ro Khanna. She could have been doing all of those things, but instead she just like pulled a what's her face from Sarah Palin.
She should have stayed in the House, and she would have earned more credibility if she'd have done that. And I think she loses credibility.
Dude, she has no credibility. Okay, dude, Trump thwarted her political ascendance. And so she started bad-mouthing him when she knew she had millions and was jumping ship. She gets no credibility. Zero credibility.
Leaving the House. I think that's true. She could have and should have stayed there. Like, there's no question about that. You and I basically agree that it's marginally good that she's saying the things that she's saying.
Yes.
And the thing that I was responding to was AOC saying that MTG didn't have credibility on this issue.
She doesn't. I mean, like, she doesn't, but who cares? I mean, you know, like,
I mean, she said it, so I responded to it. Like,
right.
You can not care. Apparently, a lot of people care. Days later.
I mean, but dude, he didn't respond to credibility. He said MTG sacrificed her political career to stand against genocide. Like, give me a fucking break if that doesn't earn credibility. Again, she didn't sacrifice her political career. Staying there, fighting Trump, running for re-election. If she had gotten defeated, running for some other office, continuing to run, continuing to be a political presence, right? Continuing to, you know what I'm saying? There's a million things she could have done. She could start a podcast and being like defecting from MAGA and having people on and challenging all the MAGA viewpoints with her insider knowledge of how they really communicate. She could out the pay-to-play racket for all of the right-wing content creators that spread misinformation. I mean, there's a million things this woman could do. We saw her, like, chase after survivors of school shootings and shit. So we know she can be relentless and crazy. Like Sam Seder said, she opened the fucking mail slot. Was like, I'm going to squeeze in there like E.T. Come here, right? So we know she's crazy, but no, what did she do? She bought like a $2 million house in a foreign country where, like, if America goes up in flames, she ain't going to have to stay for it. And she said, peace, yo. Oh, by the way, I'm here to, like, tell you, like, how it is, right? Dude, she's horrible, dude. She's as bad as Trump, if not worse.
Talking about it.
Yes. But no, well, I care more about the idea that, like, she somehow sacrificed and that she, like...
The other part that frustrated me in those comments was she said, when there are issues where there's bipartisan establishment support for something, then in those cases, and she said, like, for instance, banning stock trading, in those instances, I think it's appropriate to work with people we disagree with on other issues. So it's okay to do that for stock trading. What issue has stronger bipartisan establishment support than unapologetic support for Israel? So it's okay to do it for stock trading, but stopping a genocide?
But see, this thing, though, Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill was not stopping a genocide. Her amendment got defeated 6 yay votes to 422 nay votes. Okay? There was, like, right? Her amendment, the one thing she did one thing. She added an amendment to a bill that was getting fucking, right? She added an amendment to a bill that was soundly defeated, her amendment. And her amendment was not stopping a genocide. And then she quit. Like, if she really was trying to stop a genocide, do you think she's going to leave Congress? What is she going to do? Send the genocide some mean tweets from Costa Rica? Hey, right? She's going to use Kermit phone? She's going to be like, hey, world, this is MTG. Hi, I'm in Costa Rica. I'm calling to end genocide. Yes, I want you to stop that genocide right now. All right? Right now, you stop it. If you don't stop, I'm not going to the beach today. All right? I'm going to go just sit in my infinity pool all day in a parka if you don't stop the genocide. All right? You better. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, dude. That's what she did, bro. Like, yo, for him to say she's stopping the genocide is fucking insane, bro. That is insane to even act like MTG like was ever a part of that fucking movement, you know? That, like, never, dude. You know, I mean, look at Sam's face. I hope he says something.
Well,
you can't go there?
Well, wait a second. What is Marjorie Taylor what are they going to do together? Like, well, she's out of Congress. She left Congress. She might as well be, she's just some gadfly. Like, Alex Jones, I'm sure, has agreed with something at one point. Should AOC, like a congressperson, join with Alex Jones?
That's a fair point too. He brought up MTG. Like, why? Like, what's the point of bringing her up to, like, sideline her? Like, if she's If she's,
I
if there's
mean,
nothing to
I
work
think,
with her on,
I think in that context,
yeah.
she should not be paying attention to, you know, a former congressperson. But I imagine that's probably driven by like her personal animosity.
Right.
And,
which again, I get. Like,
but I
would
think
have
the
it too if I
question
were
was
her.
like, in
So the question
what
would be then-
circumstances do you make a transpartisan?
See, I think AOC mentioned MTG because MTG is being hawked by some fake leftists, guys. Okay? I think AOC is well aware that there are elements of the supposed progressive left, like Cenk Uygur and 𝗙𝗪cie𝗿𝗍𝗏, and like this guy, Ryan Grimm, that are in fact trying to like drag Marjorie Taylor Greene into a place of credibility. And I think AOC was saying, you know what, guys? Like, no, stop that, right? She was doing the Erica Kirk, stop, or I'll murder you, right? You know, that's why. I think that's why. I think she was like saying, hey, you know, because that's really happening, guys. That is there are progressives that are like flirting with America Firsters now, and they're acting like it's a good thing. And I just don't think it's a good thing, man. I disagree.
And I think like there is, I mean, let me put it this way. Do you think, just broadening out from it, do you think there are circumstances where there are people that it does not make sense to do, like, you know, go with God, Tucker Carlson. I'm glad that you are, but I also know I also know there was back in the early days of MSNBC, way back, when Pat Buchanan would fill in for Tucker on his show. Pat Buchanan would have me on because he knew I was the only Jew he could get that would criticize Israel, and I felt dirty as shit.
I bet.
But it was not like I had an audience that I was delivering to Pat Buchanan. I mean, that's also the question. I mean, this is the same question that like when Sirota asked Plattner about going on Tucker Carlson's show, and his assessment I thought was pretty, or his assessment of the calculation is pretty important. Like, who's helping who in this situation? Like, you know, are we helping? Are we really expanding who is hearing an anti-genocide message when we welcome Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah, see, that's just it. Like, even with Tucker and Graham Plattner, okay? If Tucker talks to Graham Plattner, Tucker Carlson benefits from that, okay? He does. That does not, like, I don't know that Graham Plattner benefits a lot from going on the Tucker Carlson show. You know, that doesn't mean he's not going to go on there and try to, like, you know, like woo some voters. But I think definitely like Tucker is seeking to moderate himself and to be a part of new movements. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, dude.
Into our home to talk about it? Or are we basically whitewashing Marjorie Taylor Greene, who still has a bunch of other odious policy sets, and also someone who like she gave up her material power?
I think because of the way that different media environments are structured, that you're much more likely to persuade some people in her base of your position than you are going to accidentally get a bunch of Majority Report viewers to all of a sudden start hearing MTG's other ideas.
See, I disagree with that, because I think, like, if you look at MTG, if you look at Tucker Carlson, the one thing that they all have there is the deep religion, guys. Okay? It's abortion. It's God. It's like Democrats are demons. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tucker Carlson and MTG's audience, of their like audience, I don't think they're convertible, guys. I think they have a much better chance of peeling off people that are upset with the Democratic Party and don't like Trump and feel politically homeless. And that's why they want to get involved with the progressives and the leftists, is because they know that they hate the Democratic Party and they're looking for something that's not Trump and the Republicans. They're looking for something that is anti-establishment, right? Even though Tucker is not anti-establishment. Tucker is an old money, oil money, stock portfolioed, land owning, fucking, Fox News motherfucker. He is as establishment as it gets. Okay. He postures himself anti-establishment like Trump did. Trump has always been establishment, but he only postures himself that way because he doesn't have the same political power as like the core Republican Party. But once Tucker got political power, he would be just like Trump. He would fucking take it over and get swollen by it. I mean, look what he did at Fox News. He got so swollen by his lies and his bullshit that he got a $787 million settlement with Fox and got booted. He got booted because he was so full of himself. He is establishment and arrogant and like running around saying demons are attacking him in bed and shit.
And be like, oh, well, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about the way weather can be controlled. Like, I don't think that, I think that they're mostly immune because it's a much more kind of open and they've gotten the vaccine. Whereas like, I think a lot of people in the right-wing media spaces are open to left-wing populist ideas, and if they start hearing them, can move over.
Let me give you a real-world example. MS Now, which made the pivot to having a lot of never Republicans on, never Trump on.
Right, but they're not serving anything up. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can tell you that. I mean, this is just an example, and it may not. When Trump in the first term bombed Syria, every single person on that network, and I know this because I was coincidentally supposed to be on to talk about something else, was advocating him bombing Syria and saying it shows that he's serious. And the reason is because they're all former Republicans or supposedly former Republicans. And, anybody looking at Bill Kristol now, they don't remember, or George W. Bush or whatnot. Like, there is something to be said about holding people's, real record. The overwhelming part of her record was, incidentally, in support of Israel, Marjorie Taylor Greene's. And yes, she did have a brief moment, at least in terms of her career as a congressperson, which she cut short, where she had a change of mind after every other avenue for her political ambition was shut down. But
dude, that was a
if
good
she comes
summary.
back into politics, I don't know that it works the way that you're talking about. I don't know that people are traveling with her. Her audience is traveling to the Majority Report when she's on the Majority Report, let's say.
Yeah, no, her audience is not. Her audience thinks all Democrats are fucking demons, and they are just trying to carve out a MAGA of their own, and they want to call it the America First, man.
You nervous that she's going to snow your audience? I don't think so. I got more faith in your audience than you do.
No, I'm not saying that, but I also don't think that what.
I think it legitimizes them, guys. It's like Jubilee, okay? It's like Jubilee, right? That's what Jubilee does. You have Sam Seder or Mehdi Hassan go and they sit and they talk to like a fucking stone toss, right? You know what I mean? And then it's like people are like, oh my God, look at Stone Toss. He's out there having a fucking, debate with like one of these really popular leftist content creators. Stone Toss must really be a serious political voice, right? That's what they fucking do, man. You know what I'm saying? Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on fucking the Majority Report because then it's like Marjorie Taylor Greene now has a little bit of voice in leftist politics. Like, I mean, I'm not opposed to Marjorie Taylor Greene going on there, but I feel like it should be incendiary and it should be calling her out for why'd you quit Congress? Why'd you bail? If you're really anti-Trump and this isn't about the, you know, him cucking your career and you running, like, if you really cared about this Israel shit, don't you think you had more power in Congress? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people should, like, show her for the charlatan that she is. You know, if you're going to have her on, you should shred her. Because, dude, it's with some of those people, it's like giving them credibility. They were going to kill her son. Yeah, the right wingers were, you know, I mean, dude.
What is she going to do for my eyes? Like, she going to provide them more nuance on the genocide?
But the idea would be that then you would get access to her audience.
How would I do that?
Persuade them by, I don't know, that like there's podcasts in that network that you can go on. I'll hook you up with Tucker.
Oh, I'll go on to her podcast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
but that's different.
But it's a two-way street in that sense. But in any event,
yeah, I just don't think the MAGA watch. You know, guys, I don't think MAGA watch a lot of left-wing media. I think maybe the content creators do, but I think, guys, here's what I think. And this, I disagree with this Ryan Grim guy. I think this Ryan Grim guy is one of those Republicrats, okay, like Cenk Uygur. But yeah, Sam's not having it because Sam knows it's bullshit. Because, guys, here's the scoop. Left-wing people want to see the whole picture. Okay, so left-wing people will watch CNN and MS Now and Fox, and they'll watch Ben Shapiro, and they'll watch Tim Pool. We will watch. I watch as much right-wing media as I watch left-wing media. And I've always done that because I want to see what they're saying too in order to counteract it. But MAGA don't do that. Okay, MAGA watch their echo chamber shit where they're all fucking like circle jerking each other. And that's all they do. They might see some clip online from Eric Doherty or Nick Sortor that is a Democrat clip, and they'll watch that clip that is fed to them from their people. But dude, they don't go around watching all the left-wing creators and then parsing that information with their own. They don't, okay? They don't, right? It's because left-wingers want to see the lies and see the strategy, and right-wingers just want to be fed the narrative. They want to be reinforced with their resentful narrative. They want to know who to hate, and then they're going to yell at them. But they don't, like when Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on Sam Seder, okay, if Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on the Majority Report, none of Marjorie Taylor Greene's audience watches that show. None of her audience does. They wait until a couple clips end up on Facebook from Nick Sortor, from 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗧, from Eric Doherty, right, from PBD. They will wait and they will digest the clips fed to them from their media side, but they will not watch the show. When Sam Seder goes on PBD, the left-wingers will go and watch PBD. They will go watch Sam Seder do it. That's the truth, guys. That's the truth. Left-wing people consume all sides. It's like the point of going to college. You learn about it all. And the right-wingers, they don't want to go to college. No, I just want to be on Facebook. I want to go to Facebook and the bar. And that's it, right? And the fucking, right? Facebook, the bar, and the pork rind section of Costco. And that's it. That's it. That's their whole existence. Dude, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm telling you, man. All right, moving on. We got one more thing to cover, guys. And this shit is a little crazy, Okay, let me just tell you. It's a little bit of what Kulinski was talking about earlier. We're going to look at a little bit of his shit, and we are going to look at the tweet too, because this shit is pretty weird. Okay, a trigger warning. What you're about to see is pretty bizarre. Okay, we have some bizarre shit happening here. Actually, we're going to do two things because I do want to cover a little bit of Trump and the economy. All right. I'm going to find the tweet here. Okay, so here's the tweet. All right? This is right here. Okay? It says Jews are questioning if they have a future in Belgium after 3 moles were indicted for conducting oral suction circumcisions. Many of us wonder if there's a future for the Jewish community in Belgium. A Jewish community leader tells Israel's I-24 News the Trump admin is demanding the anti-Semitic charges be dropped, guys. Okay? Now, I first saw this on Kyle's show. Okay? Now, guys, again, I want to make a separation here. Okay? We need to be very clear about this, because this is not a Jewish thing. This is a Jewish extremist thing, okay? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I do want to be clear here, because there's a lot of anti-Israel sentiment going around, and there is a lot of, like, we have a lot of Islamophobic shit. Like, all of the Abrahamic religions are, like, fucking whatever. There's a lot of douchebaggery. Now, this particular process, these oral suction circumcisions, are from a very extremist Orthodox wing of the Jewish sect, okay? And yes, they are dangerous. There's a number of issues, okay? So basically what it is, guys, to clarify the practice, there is a small subset of very Orthodox, like the more extremist part of that religion, where the moles do the circumcision. And after they do the circumcision, the mole will ingest the blood from the circumcision site. Okay? It has been a practice for whatever, thousands of years, where they snip and then the mole will taste the blood, essentially. Okay? And that tasting of the blood from the circumcision site is supposed to be some unity contact from God. Okay? Now, again, this is an ancient practice that is practiced by an extremist group of, like, Orthodox religious people. Okay, now there's fucking really, like, I mean, there's extremist sects in Islam that have some marriage issues. There are extremist sects of evangelical Christianity that, like, have child brides and are, raping kids. And of course we have the Catholic priests. So there's like extremist dysfunctions in all of the Abrahamic religions. And so I just want you to understand that this, whatever oral suction circumcisions, these are not your run-of-the-mill Jews, okay, that are just going to temple. They're not doing this, okay? This is a small faction of the extremist Jewish, like, personage, okay? And the reason why I make that disclaimer is because a lot of people, like, with the anti-Zionism and shit, everybody's kicking this up and trying to extrapolate it across all of the people. And it's not. My point is I'm tired of the Abrahamic religions, okay? And it doesn't matter if it's Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. All three of them have some extremist group that are involved in these types of, like, outlandish behaviors where they're, like, carrying on some tradition or some fucking rule from, like, 1,500 years ago. And it's always toxic and it's always weird, dude. All right? marrying kids is weird, guys. Okay? Like pastors molesting girls is fucking weird. And oral suction circumcisions are weird. Okay? All of this Abrahamic religion shit needs to go bye-bye. All right? That's my take. But anyway, what's crazy about this, guys, okay, is that there are some of these extremist people in Belgium who are saying, well, if we can't do this, like, I don't think we can have a Jewish community here. And everyone's like, yo, fuck off, bro. Right? Except Trump is like trying to say, hey, man, you got to let those guys continue their oral suction circumcisions. Okay? Now, to say that it's harmful is an understatement, because obviously, like, just the act of it is super bizarre, but there are, you know, sometimes the babies die, okay? They do. Sometimes the babies die. Herpes can be transmitted through this shit. And so it's very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It is very fucking dangerous. And the thing about it is I also think circumcisions are a barbaric practice, okay? And 𝗟𝗟𝗏, they're not like, these people doing the oral suction circumcisions are not sucking the baby's D. I know that's like, I know Kyle put that in the thing, but that's not what's going on, okay? It's like, I mean, there's contact in a way that is gross and should not be happening, but they're not making a hub video. It is dangerous, though. I think it's psychologically not good for the mole or for the baby, right? Because the baby doesn't know what the fuck is going on. I don't think, you know, we should be cutting babies' genitalia. I think that's a really fucked up process to begin with. The whole circumcision thing is fucked up, okay? And it is. Just cutting genitalia is fucking, is stupid, okay? It is useless, okay? You know, and to be honest with you guys, okay, I think the practice of circumcision is because it sort of deadens some of the sensation, the sexual sensation. So I think they kept the practice going, hoping if they deaden the sensation, like, I think there's some school of thought out there subconsciously that thinking it's going to, like, make people less sexually, like, you know, hungry by clipping this shit. You know, you're saying you're glad you were a baby and you don't remember. Yeah, but you do remember. I'm sure we don't remember it, but that doesn't make it less traumatizing. Okay, it does. It does, Destin. It's if you uncircumcised people have more, like, that's that area that gets snipped in a circumcision, and then the healing of it makes it less sensitive. So people that are circumcised have more sensitivity there, right? You know? So, and I mean, there was a time when you could say that, like, sanitary-wise, circumcision may have been, like, beneficial to prevent diseases, but we are, like, long out of that time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the hygiene shit was, like, you know, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 500 years ago. Yeah, maybe I buy that. But, like, dude, there's not a hygiene issue now. It's like, it's not a hygiene issue, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's real easy to, like, teach your kid how to clean himself. Dude, somebody's like, I already only lasts about a minute. You know what's crazy about this, guys? Is my dad was not circumcised. He did it to himself when he was like 30 or something. And I'm like, dude, why would you fucking do that? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you fucking do that shit? But anyway, so yeah, let's look at this. Hold on, we're gonna look
now,
at.
I remember years ago, probably a decade ago or more, I remember covering a story on my show about how there is this religious practice that happens where in Orthodox Jewish communities, you have this thing called a mole or a mole. And basically what it is a rabbi. And there's this ceremony that happens when they want to circumcise a baby. And effectively, they do the circumcision themselves. They're not medical doctors, but they do the circumcision themselves. And then, I'm not kidding here, it sounds like this is fake or, some smear thing or what. It's not. It's real. What they do is they circumcise, so they cut off the tip of the baby dick, and then the mole sucks off the tip of the baby dick. I'm not kidding.
They taste the blood. They do. They taste the blood. I don't think they're sucking the thing off. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, they're just tasting the blood. Okay? He's being a little dramatic. And yes, again, guys, it is not Orthodox Jews. It is like an extremist sect of the Orthodox Jews. Okay? We are talking about like the faith healing, speaking in tongues sect of the Jewish religion are the people that are doing that, right? You know what I'm saying? They're not like performing fellatio, right? They're not. I believe it's like the point is to like bite the skin and fucking let's look at it. Let's see right. So it's called 𝗦𝗂𝗽𝗡𝗅, right? All right. So they use their mouth to draw blood from the wound. Okay. I think it involves like biting the wound essentially. Okay. And it can, it can transfer herpes, right? They have documented some cases where there's been brain damage. Yeah, biting the foreskin, right? But it is ultra orthodox, okay? It is like ultra orthodox, okay? And no, it is Moel, right? Right? That's how you spell it, right? And I do believe they use their mouth to take blood away from the circumcision wound, okay? But they are not like, now guys, here, listen to me, okay? Just so you know, these things, okay? Let me just tell you guys, it's Moel, yeah. They're performed publicly, okay? This isn't like a Moel takes a baby and goes into the back room and is back there like, fucking 𝗙𝗽𝗽𝗍𝗍-ing, okay? The family are there, the parents are there, the community is there. This is like a celebration, and they do the snipping, and then there is a transfer of blood from the wound, and then it is a fucking thing. And again, though, it is a ceremony, and it is not actually sucking a baby D. It is still creepy and weird and unsanitary and unnecessary, okay? Wildly unnecessary because it's fucking, whatever. All of these Abrahamic religion rituals are weird and unnecessary, whether they're child sacrifice or SA or marrying 10-year-olds or like child brides or this. All of this shit is bullshit. But it is not a sexual thing, okay? It is not a sexual thing. This is a fucking, it is still weird though, guys, right? I don't want to say that it's not weird, but I also don't want to present this like, this is, these people are taking babies in the back room and fucking, like doing Epstein shit in there, because they're not, right? It's just an unsanitary and weird thing that is no longer necessary in this world, which to me, okay, this does bring a bigger issue that I have with all of the extremist sects of every Abrahamic religion, okay? And dude, for you, Sins, this is not a common regular Orthodox practice. You are incorrect on that. Okay? You are absolutely incorrect on that. You know what I'm saying? And dude, yeah, I'm not gonna go into the replies. Thank you, Natalie. But this is not common. I know many Orthodox Jews, and none of them have had this fucking done. It is a very small subset of Orthodox people that fucking do this shit, dude. It is. It's a small subset. I don't know any Orthodox Jews, including the ones I know who are fucking wearing prayer gowns and shit that did not do this. You know what I'm saying? You know? I mean, circumcision is like getting circumcision, getting a bris is absolutely common. Okay? Right? Like the bris, all of them like go through the bris. But the 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗏 or whatever this thing is not common. Right? Everybody, the bris everybody does that. That is absolutely, that's a huge thing. It's a huge, you know what I'm saying? That is a given, right? You know? But this, this traditional circumcision is not have this practice. You know what I'm saying? But what I think is the weirder part is this, guys. Okay? Here's what I fucking am queuing in on, is what the Trump, okay? Here's what I am thinking is pretty bizarre, guys, is that the Trump admin is demanding that, they're saying that charging moils who do this are, is anti-Semitic, okay? So this is what is problematic to me, because we have a case of religious extremism happening in Belgium. This is not even in the United States. Okay, guys? Not even in the US, mind you. This is in Belgium, where there's a sect of Jewish community that's doing this, whatever ancient and weird practice. And Belgium's like, you know what? We're done with this. We're charging you guys. And the Trump admin is like, oh, that's anti-Semitic. And it's like, whoa, first off, it's not in America. Second off, it's like, why, how is that anti-Semitic, right? To, you know what I'm saying? Like religious extremism that breaks the law, fuck the religious extremism. This idea that religious extremism, even if it's breaking the law, or if it's being extraordinarily creepy and weird, we have to just allow it because it's religion? Fuck that. Then I'm going to start my own goddamn religion, and a lot of it's going to be about shitting on MAGA, and then fuck you. I'm going to ignore all your laws, dude, and we're just going to deport all of those motherfuckers, right? I have a new religion that is like all MAGA need to be deported to Uganda. All right, let's get the fucking floats going. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, right? So that the point though is that the Trump admin is, I don't know, I guess, I don't know what their point is with this. That, I guess they're trying to across the board support fucking religious extremism when it's Christian and Jewish, but then they're totally anti-Muslim, right? And again, my thing, guys, is I want all three Abrahamic religions to be gone, okay? I want them to be gone. I am tired of Jewish extremism. I am tired of Christian extremism. I am tired of Muslim extremism. I am tired of Mormon extremism. I am tired of all of these religious extremists that start like marrying kids, like molesting kids, oral suction, whatever, circumcision, some ancient tradition where they're sacrificing fucking people or whatever they're doing. I am just tired of these extremist religions being treated like they're allowed to be extreme law-breaking citizens simply because they're carrying a fucking Bible on them, dude. You know? And this shit is like, I'm not cool with that. Okay? I am not cool with this shit, dude. I am not. Okay? I am not. Okay? Because the basically people are making these circumcisions illegal as they should be. And there's no reason that these, moils can't do a traditional bris without the fucking oral suction and still be fine. Okay? We are living in 2026. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I am just sick of all this shit, dude. The faith healing, the speaking in tongues, the oral suction, the whatever, marrying 12-year-olds. Like, dude, just all of these Abrahamic religions need to fucking get the boot, dude. Seriously. Just get the boot. Boot on boot, dude. You know what I'm saying? It is tiring, boss. All right. So hold on, let me see. Dude, damn, what did Uganda do to deserve margarita? Oh, Freddie! Dude, I always use Uganda just because it's like an extremist Christian country. So I feel like that's the type of like environment that MAGA wants, right? I mean, dude, give me any other country that is like super strict Christian like that, right? And that's why I always use Uganda, just because they have a very extremist Christian government, right? It is very Gilead like, right? See, I'm trying to figure out how many people still do this, okay? Still do this particular thing. Because they started rallying against it in big time in the 70s, right? Publicly. And it looks like it's saying that that only certain sects of Haredi Jews still do it, right? The like certain sects of the ultra Orthodox that are still actually doing this. Right? But dude, it is like, this shit is so crazy, boss. And again, this is another section, though. This is another, I guess, to me, guys, this is another example of that outlandish Trump Zionism, okay, where anything, right? Anything that is like the Trump admin will support the extremist fucking factions of both Judaism and Christianity, like with no questions asked. Okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how outlandish the practice is. It doesn't matter how bizarre, if it's unsanitary, if it's unhealthy. I mean, this is the same shit they're doing with like raw milk, right? They're like, yeah, if you Christians want to drink raw milk and do faith healing and homeschool your kids to be like raptured weirdos, like, fine, we're going to give you tax money to go and homeschool your brats and teach them to drink raw milk and get measles and do a bunch of soaking and shit. And they're like, yeah, we're going to support the oral suction circumcisions in Belgium. And then they're completely like anti-Muslim. And then meanwhile, if a fucking trans kid just wants to go to the bathroom, they're like ready to call in the SWAT team. Okay? So some weird ultra-Orthodox mole can snip a pee-pee and fucking, suck some blood. And right, but a trans kid goes to the bathroom and they're ready to send a missile into the fucking school. And dude, that's bullshit. I am just tired of this religious nonsense across the board. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Right? You know what I mean? I am tired of this, like, I am tired of the Abrahamic religions. All right? I want all the Abrahamic religions gone, boss. Gone, daddy, gone. All right? All right. Now, moving on, though. There you go. I thought that fucking, I don't know. I thought it was intriguing to me because for me, it is a reinforcement of my general disdain for the Abrahamic religions and how it is the Abrahamic religions that if we don't like take them out of power in some way, they're going to blow up the whole goddamn world, boss. Okay? If we let Judaism and Christianity and Islam and the extremists in those three groups continue jockeying for power and warring in the Middle East, if we do this, they're going to blow up the whole fucking world, guys. They are. They don't care because they think the rapture's coming or whatever. Like the Jews think Jesus is coming for the first time. The other two think it's going to be the second visit. I mean, they're all like fucking zonked. Okay? And so for me, I'm just saying fucking, I'm saying that like we need to get that shit under control. Right? Right? We do. They are going to blow up the whole goddamn world, guys. Oh. Like, well, no, Tracy, it is because of their belief in God. It is because of their belief in God that they think blowing up the whole goddamn world is okay because it's going to deliver them. Dude, JP Marine, let's go. 5 gifted members. Oh. Dude, I am losing my shit, boss. Dude, let's go. Ooh, let's go. Dude, let's go. Dude, Kevin O'Leary, Dude, Kevin O'Leary is crazy. Right? You like my mindset? I mean, I try to keep a sense of humor about it, guys. But I'm telling you right now, we could discuss politics left, right, and center. And, right, we could discuss politics left, right, and center. And I still, no matter what, you can have all the political parties, you can have all the cultures and races you want. 95% of the world's ills are directly caused by the Abrahamic religions and the extremist, like, powered groups inside those three religions. 95% of our ills stem from that. And it's always been that way, guys. I mean, there's other religions, but it is specifically the Abrahamic ones have all the, like, they are the world power, okay? And obviously Christianity and Islam being the two biggest, okay? And Judaism is much smaller, but it is also firmly ensconced in the power structure geopolitically, okay? So they are, like, not any less, fucking troublesome, you know what I'm saying? But, like, it is the direct, conflict of those three religions vying for the outcome that they seek from their religious tomes. And yeah, they're all fighting about the same thing, bro, which is stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they really are, it's like, yo, you guys are all talking about the same God, supposedly. That's like, it's ridiculous, dude. It is ridiculous. But so, no, it wouldn't be 𝗙𝗍𝗍 because Buddhism is not even a religion. There's no deity. Okay, Buddhists are not there. There's no deity. Buddhists are not trying to take control of the world. Like, Buddhism is simply about seeking harmony with the planet and other human beings. Okay, there's no deity. There's no religion to be had. There are some precepts. There are some, like, suggested ways of living life to create harmony. And then there's, like, quieting the mind and getting in touch with your fucking inner energy. But there's no like nobody's trying to own. There's no ownership. Okay. There's no ownership, right? The problem with the monotheistic God is there's an ownership, right? Where there's a supreme ruler. Okay. And Buddhism is really cool because it's just a philosophy and a style of meditation, but there's not a ruler. There's no ruler. In Buddhism, that greater energy is something we all share. And so we willingly contribute to the harmonic convergence with that energy. Now, I'm not a Buddhist, but I studied the Buddhist meditation, Vipassana, and, I've explored quite a bit of all the religions, but, I don't know that much about Islam, but Buddhism, though, as a philosophy, is actually a really good philosophy. It is. It's a really good philosophy. I mean, my personal energetic belief is most aligned with Buddhism, and that my life experience has shown me that there is a energy source. It's like where my creativity comes from, but it's like shared. It's not like a divine God up there giving me this creative energy. It's like a creative energy that humanity and the planet generate, and I just put feelers out into it and collect ideas and shit, and then action on them. That's where, like, song lyrics come from and melodies and shit like that. Or movie ideas. Like, all my creative things come from that, shared sort of energy source. That it might be the thing that the religious people think is their God, right? It's just there's not a ruler. Like, the idea that there's this supreme ruler, and if you don't live by the code, you're going to burn. That's all bullshit. That is all, like, created to justify a society that punishes you and that, like, puts a king or a president or a father in charge of the family, and you're supposed to just piously obey the rulers. They created those religions to keep people in line, okay? To create a model that you have to, this is why you have to obey and follow all these laws. You're going to burn in hell. And while we abuse you and take all your money your whole fucking life and just walk all over you, you're going to think something great is waiting for you at the end. So you're not going to revolt. You're going to put up with the bullshit waiting for the promised land of heaven after you finally like peel away from the earth. But it's all bullshit, dude. All of it. Every bit of it. Bullshit. All right, you ready? We got one more thing to cover real quick, dude. We got to look at Trumpy. Okay, we do. Because Trump has gotten himself in a peck of trouble, guys. Okay, because the economy is fucking crashing. I don't know about you guys, but dude, I went to the grocery store, okay? Look at this shit, dude. Like Trump fucking selling stock, buying Palantir, selling Palantir. Okay, so listen to me, guys. I went to the grocery store a couple of days ago and like, dude, this shit is insane. All right? I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but like, dude, I went to the grocery store and I immediately called my kid in New York and I was like, Bryce, I was like, how are you doing? Because like, I just went to the grocery store and everything was expensive as shit. Like, how are you doing in New York? What's it like over there? I honestly don't know how some people are surviving, guys. Okay? I really don't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I really fucking don't know how people are surviving. It is fucking crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is wild that shit is going up and up and up. And in fact, you think a lot are not. It's true, Ozzy. You're right. I'm sure people are going into debt. You know, it's shrinkflation. It's regular inflation. And what I've noticed, though, guys, is that, like, even there's other things, too. I've said this before. They're changing the packaging, okay? Like the inner liner that keeps your bread fresh is gone. So now your bread goes bad. I am seeing more and more with regular grocery stores. I'm buying vegetables that are already like almost rotted. Like it's I don't know if it's taking longer to hit to market or what, but something is going on where the vegetables are like not lasting as long. Okay, I'll buy a big bag of broccoli and then in the middle of that bag of broccoli, some of it is already going bad. And like a couple days into it, like half of the broccoli is gone. I mean, the quality of shit is just going down, 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 down. The packaging is like shit is staying less fresh, keeping less. The packaging, even the bags, they don't make bags with handles anymore. They make these shitty paper bags with no handles that you can't grab. And the bags are shitty. They're ripping open and they're charging you for them. And it's like, yo, dude. What the fuck? Like everything, the level of quality and service is just getting chipped away to where they're like, here you go. Here's a fucking dog turd in a shitty plastic wrapper. That'll be $30, please. And you're like, yo, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this, boss? Right? And Trump is out here saying, I don't care. I don't care what you're going through. So let's find this because Trump made this comment, guys, about, what did he say about Iran and prices? Okay. This was a comment Trump made a couple days ago. Where is it? Let's find the original comment here. Yeah, I'm not even joking right here. Okay, you ready? Is this one? This is from 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
All right, so that was his big quote. When it comes to Iran, when it comes to the war, when it comes to all this shit, prices, oil, I don't care about your financial situation. I care about nothing but Iran and a nuclear weapon. But, you know, obviously this is some bullshit, because if he really cared about Iran and a nuclear weapon, he wouldn't have torn up the Barack Obama deal. The Obama nuclear deal with Iran guaranteed no nuclear weapon. And we could go in there and inspect at any time. So he ripped up the deal that guaranteed there was no weapon in order to start a war for his oil company buddies and for Benjamin Netanyahu, right? Because Trump's probably getting a little oral suction circumcision, if you know what I mean. Oh, yo, dude, he's getting a little bibby oral circumcision. But, right? I mean, let's be honest. Something's going on. Right? Something, the 2-inch mushroom tip is getting a vacuum cleaner attachment, right? Make the ballroom public housing. I mean, dude, something is going on because he ripped up that fucking deal. But now, guys, this was already out there. And of course, everybody who got asked about this, okay, you ready? Let's watch this. Hold on. Everyone who got asked about this denied it. Okay, look at this. You ready? Wait, where is it? Hold on, there's that. Let me see here. So other people were asked about this, okay? About, let's see. Because a lot of people were asked, and everybody said, well, he didn't really mean that. Right here. You ready? Watch this. Here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, the president was asked about whether Americans' financial concerns were motivating him to make a deal with Iran. His response was, I don't think about Americans' financial situations. Do you think that's the right message? Do you think the president should be considering the financial toll?
I don't know the context in which he made that comment, but I can tell you the president thinks about Americans' financial situations. I talk to him on average twice a day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh, really?
We talk about it constantly. He's laser focused on trying to resolve the conflict in Iran, because if we get the Strait of Hormuz, when we get the Strait of Hormuz reopened, that will alleviate a lot of pressure with gas prices and other things in the economy. Now, no,
it's not. It's going to just make the oil companies make more money. But guys, look at that. You notice how he said, oh, out of context, right? They all said, oh, I don't know the context, but he really cares about the financial situation. Dude, what is going on with her, bro? Look at her, dude. Oh my God, look at her, dude. What is she doing? Bro, she is like, I think she's being raptured on camera. Look, her face is like so stretched, like Pam Bondi on acid. Dude, look at her, like her skull is trying to get out of her face. Dude, let's go. They'll be calling you a radical. Let's go, Killer Charlie. Appreciate you, boss. Dude, she is being raptured as we speak, guys. Thank you. Something is going on. She is being raptured as we speak, right? But so it's context, okay? They kept saying about context. All right, let's see. Who else did they ask? Somebody else. Let's see. Jim Jordan. Right? And Jim Jordan got asked about prices.
What about his promise in 2024 that if he was reelected, gas would be under $2 a gallon because of his policies?
Well, gas prices were coming down until we had to deal with this situation. But, you know, that's life. That's dealing with world and the world we live in. I think the country gets the fundamental fact, and I know I understand this, President Trump makes decisions that are in the best interest of our nation. 250 years, great.
Dude, doesn't he look like, bro, did Jim Jordan stop eating red meat or what? Dude, is Jim Jordan on like a foreskin diet or what, dude? Look at him. He looks gray, dude. Dude, look at him. Doesn't he? Doesn't he look like a cadaver? Like, holy shit, bro. Dude, Jim Jordan has an iron deficiency and he's a liar. He said that's life, right? Like fucking, what's his, Bugs Bunny or some shit? Or what's his name, dude? Toucan? Sam, who's the guy who's like, that's all, folks, right? He's like stuttering around. I mean, he wasn't saying that's life when we were surviving a worldwide pandemic, right? You know, like what the fuck is going on, dude? He is so full of fucking Schmidt. Okay, yeah, 2 weeks. Porky Pig, thank you. Yosemite Sam. Yeah, all right. Is it Porky is the one who said that? I don't know, one of those guys. Porky Pig, Donald Trump, right? Stuttering around. That's Jim Jordan, dude, right? Right here.
The world we live in, the world and the world we
That's all, folks. Dude, yo, Porky. Yep. Right? Yep. Dude, so anyway, all these guys are, oh, that's life. Oh, that's life. Well, look at this. Okay, so Trump, there's context. Oh, people understand, no, Trump really does care about the people. Oh, we have to deal with this Iran situation. Well, it turns out that there was, they asked Trump about it and Trump doubled down. And Trump is like, no, I don't fucking care about people at all. I care about oil.
Democrats and political pundits jumped all over this statement that you made the other day. You were asked when you were leaving.
What extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about American financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
That's right. That's a perfect statement. I'd make it again.
But you can imagine how many people stop the soundbite I don't think about America's financial situation. So what's your response to that framework?
It's very simple. When people hear me say it, everybody agrees. Short-term pain. It's going to be short-term pain. But the pain is much less than people thought. Because people thought that the oil would go up to $250. It was $99 yesterday, $99 a barrel. I thought it...
Dude, that's a lot, boss.
I'd go up to 200. I was okay with that.
Dude, he was okay with it going to 200. Dude!
The pain is much less than people thought. Because people thought that the oil would go up to $250. It was $99 yesterday, $99 a barrel. I thought it might go up to 200. I was okay with that. Not that I wanted it, but you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon.
But do you see where we went? Guys, we went from like gas is expensive in a worldwide pandemic. It's all Biden's fault. It's bad Democrats' policy. I'm going to get gas to $2. Everything's going to get cheaper. I'm going to cut your power bills in half. And then he gets into office and he systematically ruins the economy with tariffs, starts an unnecessary war, and now he's saying, oh, gas is only $99 a barrel. It's only 99 bucks. I thought it was going to go to 200. You're getting like a half price deal. It's like, yo, dude, you just fucked the whole world, and now you're trying to tell us that we're getting a deal. Because it's only $99 with a war that's totally unnecessary. Like, bro, what the fuck? And people's utility bills are like insane. People's utility bills are outrageous. And yes, there's another thing though. What Bruv said right there that's very important. Because he drained the strategic reserve to try and keep prices down. Okay, and to try and whatever, alleviate the thing. They're talking about like, removing the federal tax, which is great. Then the government has no money. We're going to then just add on to the national debt, right? But here's the problem, guys. What's going to happen when they have to fill that strategic reserve? It's going to be expensive, dude. even after this war ends, when they start fixing the infrastructure, the price is going to go up more. It's not coming down when the war ends. It's going to go up. And then they're going to have to fill that strategic reserve at like a huge loss. I mean, dude, as it was, Biden like filled the strategic reserve when that shit was cheap. Okay, he did it very strategically. But they're going to do it very not strategically, like everything Trump and the Republicans do, which is like being complete fucking dumbasses. You know? Dude, this shit, boss, okay, is fucking, it's outrageous to me, boss. You know what I'm saying? It is, dude. Dude, yeah, you're supposed to take a road trip. Supposed to take a road trip, guys. Road trip. Oh, man. So now Trump is saying oil is only $99. Okay? Oh, shit, dude. What did Trump say here, dude?
You know, President Xi said something yesterday. He talked about, and he wasn't referring to the last 15 months, he talked about America's a nation in decline.
Oh, he wasn't referring to the last 15 months. Yeah, he was. Dude, he was talking about your tariffs, your threatening of Greenland, your fucking kidnapping world leaders, your involvement in the Iran war, you're jacking the whole world economy. Dude, he's talking about the Epstein class, Trump motherfuckers. He was talking about Trump when he said that, 100%.
And I said, you're right. But he wasn't talking about, because he said what you've done in 14, 15 months is a miracle.
No, he didn't say that. Where's the quote on that, guys? What you've done in the last 14 months? I have not seen that quote, guys. Is that in the Donald Trump won the 2020 election brochure? Is that on the back page of the Trump won the election brochure? Yeah, this guy is so full of shit. It's like, yo, dude, there's a transcript, you dumbass. Yo, oh, what's up? Hey, fat diaper shitter. Yo, you swollen diaper shitter. Oh, yeah, that's me. What's up? Dude, we can look at the transcript, numbnuts. Yeah.
When you hear, you know, President Xi said something.
Can we talk about something, though, here for a sec? Dude, look at this. Look at this guy's posture, dude. Look at him. Guys, dude, look at him. How weak is this guy? Okay? How weak is this guy? This guy is so, he's a gargoyle. He is kind of a gargoyle, isn't he? He's like Gollum. He's like, oh, come here, me pretty. Oh, I shit my pants. Come here, my pretty. Dude, he is so schlumpy, dude. Quasi-Trumpo. He is a slob. That is a great word for him, right? He is a fucking slob, dude. Dude, there's something, I feel like there's something going on, man, that like, if you look at him, like this ridge right here, you see how his jacket is like segmented? I mean, are you noticing this? I've been looking at him and there's like his jacket is segmented. We all saw that shot of his like hip that looked like there was some kind of contraption in there. I mean, this is just weird. I mean, if you look at people who wear jackets, it's a weird segmented like thing. Like he's got some type of, you know, I mean, it's almost like, you know, I would guess that he's binding, right? That's what it looks like. It looks like he's binding. If you've ever seen someone who's binding and their shit is like not looking right, okay? He's wearing some kind of contraption that is, you know, some sort of tight bodysuit, right? Dude, that's really what it looks like. Something is going on, dude. You know? And right? Binding is when you get rid of, when you wear something really tight and you get rid of your chest, right? But there is something going on with him where he is segmenting, you know, and that like he has something on under there that feels like it's more than a diaper. Okay, that I mean, they may very well be keeping him alive, right? They may very well be keeping him alive with who knows what kind of contraptions are involved with this guy. I mean, he's not well, dude. He's not well. His, you know, when you see him, okay, we do see him where he's like alert and shit, but even when he's alert, he's stammering, he's drifting, he's like, even when he's alert, he's like not there, right? Like a lot of times we see him and he's like listless and barely awake and barely able to stay awake. But even when you see him and he's like energized, he's off. He's like lost and he's, you know, meandering, and not just the weave. I'm talking like meandering, trying to like stay even, you know, anywhere near the target. It is like Biden, like it's a little different though than Biden, because I feel like Biden's affected his speech and motor function. And I feel like Trump has his motor function and most of his sleep, but with Trump, it's more like a cognitive awareness where, you know, he's reading off a teleprompter and it just looks like he doesn't even know what the words mean. He's just like trying to get them out, right? And then when he's talking, he's fucking, you know, really short sentences, really short points, getting even more repetitive. And you know, I think he's having some fucking like separation from reality issues, man. Yeah, and this kind of shit, dude.
Did you talk to him about the cyber attacks that he's done in the United States or the MSS has done?
I did, and he talked about attacks that we did in China. You know, what they do, we do too. It's like the spying. They're talking about, the spying. I said, well,
the spying,
we do it too.
The infrastructure.
Look, no, I'm talking about spying. The question was asked to me yesterday, I guess. What about the fact that China's spying in the United States? I said, well, it's one of those things because we spy like hell on them too.
Said like that's his thing, right? So did you hold Xi accountable for anything? No, because we do it too. Like he just told me I'm great, and he brought kids to the thing, bunch of young girls. Did I tell you about the young girls dancing? Dude, I know she's in the background laughing. She's like, holy fucking shit. I don't even know who she is, but she's just like, Jesus, God help us. She's saying a prayer back there.
So what about the fact that China is putting in the U.S. infrastructure code that they could use if you ever decided to come to the
Well, you don't know that. I mean, I'd like to see it, but it's very possible that they do. And
dude, he's like, you don't know that. Oh, what are they? Oh, you don't know. I mean, maybe it's happening. Maybe it's not happening. We're doing things too. Oh, somebody get me a Diet Coke. Dude, we might be fucked, guys. All right? Dude.
We're doing things to them. I told them we do a lot of stuff to you that you don't know about, and you're doing things to us that we probably do know about. But we do plenty. It's a double XL.
All right. November is looking further and further away. No, dude. Dude, November's going to be here before we know it. All right, let's take a quick look at the primary calendar and see what we got coming up, guys. Okay? If you haven't watched the videos, I did make a video today about Spencer Pratt. If you know people in LA, we got to get them energized. So it looks like tomorrow is the Louisiana primary. And then, dude, then next, like on Thursday, holy shit, on the 19th. So Thursday, guys, right? Wait, no. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, all right. No, that's Tuesday. Dude, my dates are confused. I'm like, why is there a Louisiana primary tomorrow? Dude, what day is it? There's a primary in Louisiana on Saturday? What the fuck, dude? Dude, that is so weird. Like Louisiana on Saturday? What the fuck kind of, that's so bizarre. But so Tuesday, okay? Dude, Tuesday is like gonna be important. Yeah, I wonder if this is, I'm wondering here. Yeah, no, you know what it is? I know what it is, guys. No, it is today because they moved it. Remember? They canceled what they had and they switched it. So they must have moved it to today, okay, to Saturday to rush their fucking right because of the new maps, because of their KKK robes got delivered. So Louisiana's today, right? Today, I mean, it's after midnight now. Holy shit, on a Saturday. Freaks, dude. No, this is, they already had the map, Shelly. They had their map, like, without that district, like, ready to go. But it is, with the new map, with the one district. I mean, they only eliminated one, so they didn't eliminate both. But this is big, guys. Tuesday is Kentucky, okay? So Tuesday and Pennsylvania. Oh, shit, dude. Tuesday's big. Georgia, Kentucky, Oregon. Dude, Tuesday's key. I think the next 2 weeks, actually. Because Kentucky, we're going to find out about Thomas Massey because Trump is gunning for Massey. So that's coming Tuesday along with Oregon. We have a bunch of people that, like, you know, our Oregon primary, the Republicans are trying to attack Oregon pretty hard. Pennsylvania is going to get dicey. Georgia, too. So we have this week, then the week after is Texas, which is going to be like the Paxton Cornyn fucking scenario on Texas. That's going to be key. And then, okay, then we have California is coming the week after that. Now, guys, let me just tell you, I'm going to say this. In LA, I'm mobilize your friends in LA because whether you like 𝗙cie or not, we really need the top two in LA to be Karen Bass and 𝗙cie. Like Spencer Pratt needs to lose. He needs to be not in the top two, okay? Because if Spencer Pratt is in the top two, the level of propaganda we're going to have, like, think about that. He has so much money behind him, that propaganda machine. The level of AI propaganda that is going to infect social media is going to be unparalleled. Like, I literally want him out of the top two, okay? I want him out of the top two, like badly, you know, because otherwise it's just, we're going to be inundated. Okay, his PR campaign, like, I just don't want to have 5 months of Spencer fucking, you know what I'm saying? I don't want 5 months of that shit. And yeah, dude, I was looking at the history of those guys, Spencer and Heidi Montag. Dude, the whole Hills cast, that whole show, dude, was like dog shit. The Hills, all of that reality TV, like, what fake bullshit. AstroTurf bullshit. Their whole world is just fake. These reality TV people. Dude. Yeah, but so you know what it is though, Joss? Is like what it is it's not even about Spencer. It's about the way propaganda. Dude, 5 alarm, let's go, boss. Just wanted to say hello. Thank you, boss. Appreciate you. Dude, what it is they're refining the ways of weaponizing resentment. Appreciate your wisdom, Tommy. Thank you. Let's go, Charlie. Right? So I really believe this, guys. I really believe what's going on in LA with Spencer Pratt is it's not even so much about Spencer. I mean, it is, but it is they are refining their techniques of how to get resentful people to just vote for anybody who's not like mainstream. Okay? Because the idea is like if you can paint LA as it's so bad under Karen Bass, then anyone's got to be better than her. So this guy, who's not a politician at all, must be the right choice. This is the shit they did with fucking, sorry, boss, Dan Bilzerian's a hero. That's where you get off, boss. All right? That's where you got to go. When you start calling Dan Bilzerian a hero, I'm muting your ass. Sorry, you were saying some suspect shit the whole time. But that's where you cross the line. All right. But anyway, so they're the right wing, the MAGA, the America Firsters, they are essentially running campaigns now like algorithms. Okay? They are, guys. They are running campaigns that are like algorithms, right? Where, hold on one sec. So they are essentially like trying to strategize how to paint the picture of like, this place is so terrible, and then anyone would be better than who's in charge. Okay? And this is like they did it. Guys, this is how Trump got in there. Okay? This is how Trump won. This is their new sort of strategy, is that it's so bad. Crime is rampant. Like this XYZ is rampant. They're transing the kids. Oh my God, it is so bad. We just have to get them out of power, which means anyone will fucking, right? Anyone will do, right? That's kind of their new MAGA America First strategy. And I think we need to be resistant to that. Okay? We do. We need to be resistant to that, because obviously what we're learning with Donald Trump is it can get worse. Okay? It can get worse, right? And Charlie, so the thing about Trump is part of his campaign was weaponizing to low information, middle of the road voters that the country was so bad and everything was so out of control that you just needed everybody associated with Biden out of the equation, right? That the Democrats were burning shit down, you know? You know what I'm saying? And like that is it is becoming the new core Republican strategy, is to paint, right? Because guys, the problems that LA has with homeless and with crime and with fires, that shit's happening in Florida, but nobody's painting Florida like that, okay? If Florida has a fire, that shit gets covered for 5 minutes. Florida's the third highest homeless population in the world. Nobody's talking about that. I mean, every major city has all of those problems. The rural areas have those problems, okay? If we went to the parking lot of Walmart in northern Louisiana, you'd see more than one family living in the parking lot of Walmart, guys. Like, this shit is not just an LA problem, you know? Yeah, Florida homeowners can't get hurricane insurance, like California homeowners can't get fire insurance, you know? And yeah, dude, we're going to look at Kamala tomorrow. Kamala is talking some shit, but right now I'm going to go make videos. All right, guys, new time, early hours. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys. Stay away from the suction moils, okay? Dude, seriously, stay away from the suction moils. You don't want to go there. All right, unless you're into that sort of thing, the adult suction moil contingent, I guess could be a fucking, could be a new thing, right? Maybe that's gonna catch on, dude. I don't. The adult suction moil routine. All right. But I'm gonna say though, guys, right? The other thing I want to say is this. Well, we do have 2 moderators in chat, but I'm also pretty good at self-modding, you know, because chat's not outrageously busy right now. But so the one thing I do want to say, guys, is tomorrow I play Fortnite. All right? Tomorrow's Fortnite in the afternoon. They got rid of fall damage, which is weird. I wouldn't have had a career, I don't think, if there was no fall damage. But so now it's dance party time. I'm going to go lose my shit. All right? You guys ready? You ready for some dance or what? Let's go. Dude, let's go. Intuition. Let's go. There it is. Dude, I love that. My favorite. Oh, 3:30. Fortnite. Fortnite. Gonna do some Fortnite tomorrow. All right. Dude, no, we dance always to the same song, guys. Right? Will deja vu? Will deja deja? All right. Deja deja vu. Vu vu vu. Ready? Let's get it. Oh.
They have a lot to say, but I don't know.
can't pretend. No, 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 no. I hope this never ends. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they say. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Oh. All right, guys. I'm gonna go make some videos. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow. And don't forget who you need, baby. You are not in this alone. Good night. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over.